see it in passing, but I refuse.
He's like,
to,
don't
like,
look.
I refuse to like look at it. You know what I mean?
This makes more sense because like the spinning doors.
They're in the Department of Mysteries on the cover, right?
Yeah, but then the orbs or whatever is in the audiobook.
It is a little annoying how much they put on the covers. I'm a little bummed about that.
It doesn't bother me at all. I love it.
Yeah, you like it. You're
She
like
studies
zooming in on the image on the thing.
Because you don't know. It's like a fun guessing game. Like, oh, is this going to be this or is this going to be that?
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, it's a picture.
That's a picture. Definitely a picture.
I don't think the next one has a very revealing cover.
No.
Okay.
But I should probably blow my nose before we start.
Probably.
Oh, we're already live streamed.
Oh.
We're already live. What's up, everyone?
He never tells us that anymore.
Surprise.
I just want live stream because I'm trying to fulfill people's bets here.
Ooh, nice.
Because
Who
they're
won?
betting on when we're gonna be late. Yeah, who won? Toodles won.
Oh, good job, Toodles.
Wow.
Toodles said 15 minutes.
Sorry, guys. This was my fault.
Yeah.
It was very punctual.
One of these days we're gonna get it. We're gonna get perfect on time. We're gonna be good. But
And nobody's going to be ready for it.
that is not this day.
It's not today.
You know that scene in I Can Only Talk to You because you're the only one that's seen the movie Lord of the Rings.
That's exactly
you
what I
guys
was
seen it?
thinking of. But it is not
Just
this
ask me
day.
if I've seen
There
the
will
movie.
come a day when the
times
age of
has
man
it?
comes
And it's always
crashing
like
down.
over my head.
When we start the live stream on time, but it is not this day. This day we're late.
I saw it once.
Oh.
Oh, that's so good.
You've seen it once?
Yeah,
That's one of the greatest speeches in all of.
but I don't remember that.
Oh, it's so good.
I remember other things.
Wow.
The Aiden speech is my favorite though.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
then I got reminded of things watching the new series that's on Amazon.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The Ring of Power or something.
People are saying we should transfigure ourselves into a pocket watch. Calvin's saying that.
Ah, yes.
Didn't you say that once on the podcast?
What?
Yeah.
I think you did. Something about being
A watch?
I think we
Wow.
did.
yeah, or I thought
But it's
so.
a McGonagall reference, right?
We...
Isn't McGonagall the one who
Yeah,
says that in the book?
McGonagall, yeah, she's the OG.
Maybe I was referencing her, but got to give her all the credit. John, I want you to look at a text somebody sent me
Yeah, look.
because
Okay.
I looked away so fast in fear. My friend Logan, he's on a podcast of friends with, they talk about anime. Anime Noodle Soup, shout out.
All right.
And they scroll up. He sent me a picture,
That's the audio. Can
and
you
I
see?
saw the title of something and immediately looked away.
No, what-
Yeah.
But I want to know how much of a spoiler it may have almost been. And I was like, Logan, why did you send this to me? I'm not ready. We're on book 5. Slow your roll.
Yeah, this is book 7 stuff.
So,
It's
anyways.
it's fan theory on book 7,
Oh, good.
which is
All right,
even
so it wouldn't have been a spoiler anyway.
Yeah. It's
Is it a credible fan theory?
No. I mean any fan theory can be kind of credible.
Wow, my friends are trying to talk about fan theories with me.
Because you're a fan.
I am, and I'm looking forward to having those conversations in the proper time.
In another year.
Yeah.
I mean, yes. Yeah.
we will have some of these discussions on this, but it's not today.
But it is not
day.
this day.
Yeah. Your friends gotta chill with sending you guys stuff. That's why it's so hard because I want you guys to talk
Yes.
about some of this stuff so much with other people, but you can't because you can't get
Yep.
anything spoiled.
And they get excited and they're like,
I
oh,
know.
where are you at? And then they say something.
I know.
People just cannot help themselves. That's
Yeah.
why I don't talk about it with anyone anymore.
Mhm.
It was fun talking about the podcast. I get excited about it, but now I'm like, nope, nobody can handle it.
Yeah.
Nobody really knows.
When we're finished with it and we do like a reread of it, then you can talk to everyone and people will
That
come
is
up
gonna
with
be so
all their
fun.
theories on
Yep.
everything. A
Yep.
reread, right, guys?
He's like, we're going to be reading this forever,
Jen?
right?
Yes, guys, this is the plan.
This is the book that never
Oh
ends.
my God.
My other friend, Jess, started reading it. I was like, don't.
That's right. I know
Don't.
she shouldn't.
She's only on book 1, so you're fine.
Okay, good.
But I told her, you might be recruited, so maybe you should hold off.
I know. Tell
she should
anybody that
wait.
you know that hasn't read these just to hold off. We have a whole pipeline. All right, you're slated to read this in 15 years.
You're lined up for season 13.
I'm gonna write the theory that Danny had the text from because I'm not gonna say it out loud. What do you guys want to start? Was there anything interesting in these chapters that you guys want to start the podcast with?
The Umbridge revenge, loved it. Hermione's so smart. I didn't know where she was going with that. I was like, where is she taking them? Remember?
Well, I think you mean when you were originally reading, or even after we had the last pod, because
During the podcast, we were like,
still weren't
where is she gonna bring them? You knew she was gonna go to the
I think
fair?
I don't remember who said it during the podcast. It may have been me, but as soon as it occurred to me, or it was spoken that Grop was around, I was like, oh, that's it, because it
oh yeah,
would
we
have been
did think that.
it
Yeah.
would have been out of place for it to be anything we hadn't been introduced to in the books. So Grop was the perfect solution where I'm like, she's bringing her to somewhere we already know.
Yeah.
But what could that be? So I was thinking about like all the things within Hogwarts. I was not thinking about like a curveball of like Hermione just fights her. It was going to be something else.
Right.
Did you think that Hermione was literally just gonna like turn around and sock her? Because that's kind of what I
That
wanted her
would've
to
been
do.
Awesome.
That would have felt really good.
Because Harry has that moment once where he's like walking and she says something about the half-breed Hagrid,
Yep.
and Harry wants to turn around and punch her. I'm like, Hermione is leading her into the middle of the woods so she can beat her up.
Like, how crazy would
And
that
that'd
be
be
if they literally just like fisticuffs?
Jump her.
Who needs wands, you know?
There's a satisfyingness to that. I kind of like
that
that.
would be a lot more satisfying.
Can't they steal her wand though? Can't you just go Accio or Accio or whatever?
No, I mean they
But you need the
Yeah.
wand to do that.
Oh, duh.
they can't do wandless magic.
But
yeah.
like then it kind of brings up like our thoughts about
like,
wands
yeah.
in general. Like, what do you need if you're walking through the woods? Can you pick up a stick and be like, haha? Or do you need Neville who can identify the right tree? Or is it like, hey, that's just a tree. If there's no core to that wand, it's useless.
yeah, it's the core. It's the core that's
So
the
it
magical thing.
needs to be an actual wand
Yeah.
made. So yeah, maybe I'm just wondering about Wagadu magic, or do
Yeah.
people have staves? You know, like what else could be used for magic? I feel like everyone should
An
learn
umbrella?
a few spells. Yeah, right. Wait, there must be something in his umbrella too.
Wait.
It's his
What?
snap wand.
So then all the magic's in the wand. They're not magical at all.
No, not all, because we also
Just fainted.
Well, we know
that
that's not
Harry did
true.
magic when
Yeah,
he was in school and
accidentally.
stuff. Yeah, so there is something there.
So
but
then they could have done.
Hogwarts doesn't.
Why can't they channel that?
Maybe it's the Ministry's way of suppressing their abilities.
Maybe.
Actually, I think so.
Yeah, because then they have the ability to take it away.
Yeah, they can control it. They can break the wand. That's so lame.
But then Hagrid has a broken wand in his umbrella thing, staff, right? Because he used some magic.
He did use it, yeah. Or
Yeah.
maybe because he was expelled, he went down to learn some Wagadu stuff. He's like, let me try and hone my abilities in another country then.
It is, yeah, it's for sure. I mean, I feel like it's a combination between the wand core and the wood, because there's certain wands that are good for certain things, the wood itself, and the same thing with the core. But they don't know wandless magic, so they wouldn't be able to do anything against Umbridge. Umbridge would be able to crush them. But what would you guys have done if you were in Hermione's shoes? Knowing what you know about the Dark Forest, how would you have gotten rid of her?
Other than Grop, like, what's the next best thing?
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I mean, I'm not convinced this was the right move. The whole Grop thing, the way it all played out, seemed a little wild. And how could they depend on Grop to really come through for them? I don't know.
That's
Fluffy's
why it
gone,
wasn't
right?
that. That's why she didn't do that, though.
Wait, why she didn't do what?
She wasn't bringing her to Grop.
Wait, you think she was bringing
No.
to the Centaurs only?
Yeah.
Oh, and Grop was just the curveball. Oh, right.
Yeah,
She was
'cause he
saying
took-
that.
he-
You're right.
and,
Grop wasn't
helping
even the
them.
real solution. Well, that seems even sillier.
I thought it was really smart because
Yeah?
they can't stand like humans, and then she can't stand half breeds. So like, what a better combo. And I couldn't believe she just kept insulting them.
Yeah, I understood why it made sense in the moment.
Why? Just because you're the law?
No, like she didn't
Okay.
mean to. That's what I'm getting at. But
She
I
didn't
think,
mean.
She didn't mean
Are
to?
you taking her side again? I'm gonna punch you.
oh, you mean Umbridge when you said she
Yeah.
kept insulting them. No, she definitely did.
Who are you
I thought
talking
you
about?
meant Hermione because
Oh.
Hermione kept accidentally insulting them.
accidentally.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
And I like felt bad. I'm like, oh, just
I guess names
Be
are important.
Jen was ready to fight you.
defending Umbridge again. I don't know. What else could we do? What else is in Hogwarts? If Fluffy's gone, they can't do that. But could there be some other chamber somewhere they could drop her in? Or Devil's Snare? No, that wouldn't.
I thought that
She's
she
got
was
her
gonna
wand.
take them actually to the room of.
Requirement?
Yeah,
If she got really used to finding the room.
Hermione. I thought she's good at that stuff.
Yeah, but then like if she pushes... Oh.
Like
'Cause
you
what do
need.
they
I need
require?
something to.
I
yeah.
need shackles.
Exactly.
And
I need to
wands.
trap Umbridge. So find
Hmm.
me a room that keeps her here forever.
It wouldn't be bad.
It would
Yeah,
have been
that-
really good, actually. So
It just who overpowers? Because if let's say two people are walking down the hallway and they both need different things, who gets the room? Who does the room answer? So then, like Umbridge might need something the opposite.
but
of
then she
Hermione.
would also believe it because they've been having their
It
sessions.
would, yeah,
in
it
there,
would
so it would've
totally
been
make sense to
perfect.
go to the room of requirement.
Yep. But
But what would be in there? Ooh, interesting.
It's
I
funny.
like the way it played out.
Well, there's parts of it that are funny too because I still have like a lot of the video game imagery in my head of where things are located. So when I was thinking rather than going to the room of the requirement because they're by the Forbidden Forest, the Dark Forest, they could just go to Hogsmeade and get out there. But I don't know how they would. I would honestly I would probably take the spiders route if I were them. Hermione didn't know that, but I don't know what she was. I think her plan obviously was the centaurs. But I don't know what I would do if I were in their shoes.
Yeah, I totally forgot it was centaurs. That feels ugh. I don't know.
Do you guys think that she's going to be back?
Yeah.
Actually, hold that question.
Oh,
Welcome to the podcast. I'm John.
Jen.
Danny.
And Kristen.
And this is Harry Potter and the First Time Readers. Now we'll go on some of that stuff.
Yes.
All right, give me a summary of chapter 33. Chapter 33, which is Fight and Flight.
All right, I'll start this time. Hermione leads Umbridge into the forest where the centaurs take her away. Grop scares off the other centaurs who are going to take Harry and Hermione captive. Ron, Neville, Ginny, and Luna find Harry and Hermione in the woods, and they all decide to fly on Thestrals to get to Sirius.
Perfect.
Crushed it.
All right. We have a bunch of different. I have a bunch of different questions. Not a ton for this chapter, but there's a lot in the next chapter that I want to go over. So first, for this one, there's this line. We were kind of already talking about this, but they go, "Can we have your wand then if we're going first?" Harry asked her. "No, I don't think so, Mr. Potter," said Umbridge sweetly, poking him in the back with it. "The Ministry places a rather higher value on my life than yours, I'm afraid." So she's the worst. So I guess the two questions, we already talked about what you guys would do, but do you think that she's out of this book? Do you think that she's going to come back in the end? You're like, in those movies when you think like Gollum, is she going to be like Gollum where all of a sudden she pops back in last second and ruins everything?
Will she ruin everything? She might come back. I don't know if she was going to ruin everything.
I do feel like she's going to come back, but I don't think in this book.
Okay.
I feel like in the future, it is a possibility. 40% chance.
So you don't think she's dead?
60% chance she is. I kind of do think she's dead, to be honest. But I'm not leaning on that. It wouldn't surprise me that much if she came up later. But I don't know how.
Was this a satisfying way for her to go? Because you guys,
Yeah.
It
do you
kinda
guys
was.
hate her more than Voldemort?
Yeah.
Nah.
It was like, I'm actually kind of starting to like her again.
Yeah, she's pretty cool if you ask me. No, I don't like her, but Voldemort's still the real evil.
Yeah.
All her stuff is just like she's annoying. The world's full of annoying people. But
Compared to how much she has annoyed you through this whole book, is this a satisfying way for her to go? Or would you have rather her gone a different way? Like Hermione's fist to her face. Kristen's like, yes, 100%. That's what I want.
Because of the chance that she survives, it wasn't that satisfying, but it did feel just.
Well, you're on my side now.
Just because the centaurs are now deciding her fate. She is in the court of centaur opinions, and I don't know if she's going to make it out. It seems like she won't, but would the centaurs really kill people? We are led to believe they would. They are acting as if they were about to kill Harry and Hermione. We are seemingly told that they would have killed Firenze before leaving if Hagrid didn't interfere. That was Hagrid, right? So,
Yeah.
But will they actually? Do they actually, or are they putting on this face to scare people, to keep people out of their lands, their zone? I'm not sure yet. And that's why I don't know if Umbridge is really going to be killed. I can't think what would make her survive, but she seems clever enough. And I'm wondering if the Ministry has some kind of protective panic button spell she can
GPS
cast
on her?
to be saved, or what?
Maybe she has like a GPS. They can find her.
They like tag
Oh,
her like a
and
dog
her-
tags
her-
her. So if she like
Yeah,
pop,
right.
pops up in the woods, they could like identify her.
Because it's
With her
weird.
pieces left.
She lost her wand.
Oh yeah.
And
that's
her
right.
wand wasn't only lost; it
broke.
was snapped in two from
Yeah.
a centaur hoof.
So she's pretty vulnerable right now.
So this is the line that we get. But as he stretched out a hand toward it, the centaur's hoofs descended upon the wand and broke it clean in half. Now roared a voice in Harry's ear, and a thick, hairy arm descended from the thin air and dragged him upright. Hermione, too, had been pulled from her feet. Over the plunging, many-colored backs and heads of the centaurs, Harry saw Umbridge being borne away through the trees by Bane. Screaming nonstop, her voice grew fainter and fainter until they could no longer hear it over the trampling of hooves surrounding them. Do you feel like when a wizard's wand snaps, they kind of are devoid of magical power?
The wand? Or the
Than
wizard?
They themselves. Do they have lesser magical power because because the wand chooses the wizard? Is there a connection between the wand and the wizard that if your wand breaks in half, you maybe lose some of your powers?
Not really.
Okay.
But the fact that you're asking it, maybe. No, I didn't really think about it that way. But maybe.
I feel like since they're so dependent on, kind of like what we were
There
saying
must be a
before,
connection,
they're
for
dependent
sure.
on the wands, so it might feel like it, but
Right.
wandless magic is possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
I feel like it'd be
I don't know if I
an
can answer that.
emotional crutch, though. Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
would feel like, oh, no, my wand is gone. But, like, if you were using another wand but you thought it was yours,
Yeah.
maybe it would feel the same and you would be powerful. But mentally, watching your wand break, I'm sure would, like, hurt. You know, there's, like, almost like you can name your car and feel an emotional connection to your car. And then you'll be more sad if that car dies because it has a name. And after a car accident, you're like, oh, my car, my first car, there it goes.
Okay,
But there's
on
no
top
real
of
connection,
that, though,
you know?
we were talking about a dating app for wands, right?
Right.
Because you have a soulmate with your wand. Can you have more than one soulmate with your wand? Like her wand is snapped in half. Will she never be able to find a wand that connects with her in the same way that her first wand connects with her? Her one true love, her first love.
Well, what if her first wand wasn't her true love?
Yeah, it's true.
What if her mom picked up her first wand
Yeah.
at Ollivander's, or picked it up online, or she inherited
Online
it from
vendors.
Yeah, from a family member, and then that really wasn't her first love. It was just a fling,
It was
a
an
many
arranged
night
marriage.
stand. And
Okay,
then
time
now
out.
she can find her true
There's
love.
also you can Google this, but if you Google what Umbridge's wand looks like, there's so wild, like inappropriate commentary that her wand looks like a butt plug.
Now I'm Googling it.
Funny.
It's like a weird looking wand. So
I would
maybe it
think
was like a
so.
many night stand for her wand.
But I feel like if wands have personalities or opinions or something to whatever degree, could two wands fight over a person? Could they both choose the same person? Then I'm just like, part of the thing I'm thinking is, does Umbridge have another wand in her back pocket? How big do wands have to be? Could you have a mini wand on a keychain as a backup?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That is a funny looking wand.
Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, it's a little weird looking wand, right?
Yep.
Kind of fits her personality.
I don't know. But the wand breaking, hurting your ability to do magic makes a lot of sense for a lot of reasons. Maybe it's Star Wars stuff, but I'm thinking Accio to get your wand back. You can't do that, but that would be the most basic form of Wagadu magic. That would make so much sense.
Yeah.
Look, you don't need to be able to do anything, but call your wand so you can do all the rest of your stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you allowed to have multiple wands? Like
We
in
haven't
use
seen it
at
yet.
one time.
We were talking about that last time, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
did
a
that
little
go
General
over my
Grievous
head?
kind of thing?
Oh, no.
I don't know. Did we talk about it?
Yeah, because we said, what if Voldemort collects all the wands and then
I was
he's
asleep at
using
that
them?
point.
Oh, like that,
Hi,
yeah.
someone. Sorry, guys.
No, but
I was here, but
did
not
we-
here apparently.
I don't remember if we actually did too much, but
Oh,
I'm awake
I
this
think
time.
A little bit.
yeah, oh, man, I don't know.
Don't you listen to our podcast?
Well, last week's episode didn't come out yet.
I don't listen, and
Yeah.
apparently I don't listen while
Last
we're
week's
recording.
episode is
So
coming out on Monday, tomorrow.
Ah, nice.
And then this week's would come out the following Monday.
Well.
We don't understand a lot about wands yet. And it feels a little weird because we keep referencing Malfoy and how he didn't go pick up his wand, or we don't know the specifics. His mom.
Well, what
didn't
about
finally
Ron
pick
when
up.
he had a hand-me-down wand and then it was
Yep.
taped together and then he got a new one?
So, which wizard did that wand choose? And what wand is Ron using now? He got a new one
I
But
thought
we
so,
have-
at the end of that
but I
book.
don't remember.
We also kind of talked about how wands can be passed down, right?
Yeah.
And they can kind of gain power maybe if that happens. But
Like
it is, regardless, it's a devastating thing if your wand gets snapped in half. That like
For
hurts.
sure. Yep.
Even
Well,
if
she
it,
has
even though
no
it's Umbridge.
protection now.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
also, if the ministry can tell when people are doing magic and where the magic is happening, is a broken wand a bit of a, a signal flare of something going down? Like, I'm just picturing like a mini explosion of magic when a wand breaks. Like, that's like, it means something. So, again, thinking of all the reasons to see Umbridge as still being alive. When her wand broke, was that a signal to the ministry something's going down? Like, it feels like the ministry can break wands. That's controlled. But if a wand breaks outside of that, it would be a notable event, kind of.
Like an alarm going off?
Potentially, yeah.
I could get behind that.
Maybe you got to file a police report when a wand breaks, a little accident.
What are the police called? Ministry of Magic? Is that the police?
Aurors. Kind of. I guess
Kind of, yeah,
auras,
right?
Really?
auras are more like the special forces.
FBI agents?
Yeah.
CIA agents?
Magical law
By the
enforcement,
way,
I guess
there's
would
a
be.
great new Netflix show.
What?
Sorry. The Night Agent.
Ah.
oh, that like just came out.
Yeah, it's good. Anyway, sorry.
Quick plug, if you know that show, work on that show, and want to sponsor us. There's a few other lines. So one question I have, did you guys know what Hagger meant before it got revealed?
Yeah.
Is Harry the dumbest person in this entire book? Grop goes, he opened his mouth even wider. Hagger. Harry did not know what Hagger meant or what language it was from.
I can't believe he remembered their names, though.
I know.
That
yeah.
was kind of cute.
Yeah.
I thought that was really sweet because I'm
Yeah.
like, he's not paying attention at all. He
Yeah.
just wants to
Right.
eat them.
Because he knew Hermie. That was really cute.
I know.
Hermie.
So that makes me like Grop more, but that makes me hate Harry more because he's so stupid. He doesn't know what a Hagger means.
And I feel like, again, Harry just didn't do what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like, Hagrid gave you a responsibility, like, embrace it, take it seriously, try and befriend Grop. Like, it feels like he just was kind of slacking.
But wasn't that like a day?
Oh,
Was that
maybe
the
it was
same
quicker than
I
I
don't even
thought.
know.
I don't think he had a
But
chance.
still.
Danny, jeez.
I'm going to be harsh on him anyway.
Yeah, of course.
It just feels like he should have known. He should have been in tune with what Grop was saying.
BFFs.
Yep. Grop didn't know Harry's name. Because he could tell Harry didn't care.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like Grop is a sensitive soul. He knows that
But
Hermie.
Hermione was afraid of him.
Yeah. I think Hermione was afraid of him and a little mad at Hagrid, but I think she still cared for him in a different way.
Yep.
Maybe a more maternal way. And Harry's just He's not. He doesn't want anything to do with this. Same thing as Ron. Ron's just a big oaf. So I think he likes the female touch, I guess. You two were gonna look at each other and laugh after I said that. As soon as I said that, and that's what she said joke. Okay, this is a longer section that, and I was talking about this with Kristen. This annoyed me to no end in this chapter, and I want to talk about this for a bit. This is the line. "Excuse me, but I care what happens to Sirius as much as you do," said Ginny. Her jaw set so that her resemblance to Fred and George was suddenly striking. "You're two," Harry began, but Ginny said fiercely, "I'm 3 years older than you were when you fought you-know-who over the Philosopher's Stone, and it's because of me that Malfoy's stuck in Umbridge's office with giant flying bogies attacking him." "Yeah, but we were all in the DA together," said Neville quietly. "It was all supposed to be about fighting you-know-who, wasn't it? And this is the first chance we've had to do something real. Or was it all just a game or something?" "No, of course it wasn't," said Harry impatiently. "Then we should come too," said Neville simply. "We want to help." "That's right," said Luna, smiling happily. Harry's eyes met Ron's. He knew Ron was thinking exactly what he was. If he could have chosen any members of the DA in addition to himself, Ron, and Hermione to join him in the attempt to rescue Sirius, he would not have picked Ginny, Neville, or Luna. Who's your starting three from the DA? Besides Harry, Ron, and Hermione?
I literally wrote, Harry wouldn't have picked him. Who would he have
Who would he
picked?
have chosen?
Yeah. Who are you picking?
There's literally, the only other two people are Fred and George, but they're gone.
Of course.
So you can't pick them.
Yep.
Angelina maybe is a really, really good one.
She would be good,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. But we don't
For
know much
sure.
about her.
We don't.
Right.
And I'm trying to think if am I just defending Ginny, Neville, and Luna because we know them the most in the books?
Right. But Harry knows them the most,
Exactly.
too. Although Angelina, through, Quidditch, I'm sure he knows pretty well.
And like loyalty is a big factor here.
So
Yes.
true.
You know,
You
because
need-
they will stick with you no matter what.
Yes.
Yep.
Anyone else would run away. So I
Right.
got so mad at him. I was like, who are you picking, huh?
Yeah.
You want to go by yourself? Go, Harry.
And they're doing sketchy
Throw
stuff
you to the
too.
wolves.
This is like breaking rules. They're going crazy. What's he gonna do? Like pick other people like Zachary to join him,
Yeah.
or Cho, or like who else? Come on, Harry. These are your people. Mm-hmm. Again, Harry just feels a little bit disloyal.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of people loyal to him,
I know.
and
Yeah.
he is not that.
And
loyal.
he's not loyal to anybody. That annoys me so much. Like, my defense for them, I think Ginny is a clear top three. Like, there's no question in
Right.
my mind Ginny's
Yeah.
a top three. Like, it's probably, if I were to pick three of the best, it might be Ginny, Fred, George. Like, those would be maybe the three best ones. Fred and George are just unbelievably creative. They're doing stuff that other students aren't even thinking about doing. I think you pick Neville for his loyalty and for his improvement. Like, he is the
Right,
most improved
right.
player. And on top of that, I was writing this in the subreddit, so I have lots of notes on this.
yeah.
I think that Neville has seen things that other students haven't seen at all in their life. He has like
Absolutely.
some of the almost depressing experience about him where he knows how to go into a situation. And then on top of all that, I'm picking Luna for her sheer creativity. I think there comes a point where you need a lot of creativity
Yeah.
in trying to like cast a spell. I think Dumbledore is a very creative wizard. But if you're just going to cast Stupefy at someone all the time, you can block that and know what their counter curses are all the time. Like, to me, Harry is a relatively predictable wizard.
Yep.
If all of a sudden, like, someone, like they're casting spells that you haven't seen in 10 years, how the heck do you block some of that stuff or like
Yep.
reverse it? I feel like Luna is doing weird stuff to people and just completely messing with their mind. It's like psychological torture. too.
Yep. Yep.
So to me, those are the three clear options. They are 100% the top three in my head. And I guess there's other people like Angelina would be pretty good, like maybe Katie Bell. But
The only other person I thought maybe it would be funny, I thought might happen. I'm forgetting her name, Marietta.
Marietta.
Because her mom works at the ministry. I
Oh,
thought it'd
wow.
be
A
interesting
little
to have her
redemption for
come
her?
in because she might actually know the ministry better than any of these people do. The same way Neville would know St. Mungo's. It feels like Harry kind of knows the ministry, but he's only been there once. So bringing someone who actually might understand where they're going would be pretty helpful. And Marietta, if her mom works there, I assume she could operate from anywhere, I guess. I was assuming lives close. So I thought they were going to throw that in where she shows up and they have to kind of like, make amends a little bit or trust her or take a risk there. But I feel like Luna would probably know a thing or two. with her dad. She probably like she's the perfect person to have inside scoop about all this stuff, what's going on in the wizarding world. She's well read on what's happening at least.
Because they open that brain door, and she's like, "Oh, this is where they're breeding whatever it was." And that there's an interesting question: is she right, or are they actually brains?
I think they're actually brains, but I do wonder what they're breeding and why that's slightly controversial.
Yeah.
And what they do. I don't know.
Jen, do you have a top 3 from the DA? If you are Hermione and you're with Harry and Ron, who are you picking from the DA to come with you to the Department of Mysteries?
Yeah, I think it would be the same that you guys were saying.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no one that's that different. That would be a better choice.
And those are the 3 that we know the most too. So there's also that they just have most page time, so we don't know too much about anybody else. Lee Jordan would be entertaining. At least provide good commentary on what we're doing.
Yeah, that'd be great.
He'd be the first one gone.
Yeah. But you couldn't
Sorry,
bring
Lee.
Lee and Angelina together. Or maybe you could, because maybe Lee is going to defend Angelina no matter what.
Some romance comes out of this. That would be great. Actually, I feel like Lee Jordan would be pretty prime. Because he was so close with the Weasley twins that I feel like
A little rubbed off.
He must be near their level, right? Maybe.
I don't know. My headcanon this read around is that Fred and George are just far superior.
Than everyone
They're some of the
else.
best. Yeah, they're some of the best in the entire school. But they're gone, so they're not there. That line just annoyed me
But
with
they can't get
Harry.
in touch with them.
Yeah,
Maybe.
If only they had cell phones.
I know. But yeah, I think above all, the loyalty of these 3 is what you need. You need just 3 people who will stick by you, and that's what these 3 people are.
Yep.
Yeah, but Harry probably thinks they're younger, so what are they going to do?
Yep.
Because, right, Luna?
Because Luna and Ginny are
Ginny.
a year younger.
Except Ginny's awesome. I love her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She crushes those jinxes.
Yeah.
Yep. They tell Fred and George said to watch out for her.
Yep. And if Fred and George give their respect,
Yep.
it means something.
What is your guys? Has your thoughts changed on Thestrals at all?
Yeah. Yeah, it's shifting.
Because you
Still
were
weird.
mentioning how you thought they were gross at the beginning of the book.
Yeah. I feel like I viewed them like Harry, but even Harry found them beautiful now.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't fully understand them. Like the mane, I was like, they have a mane? I started to view them more like reptiles or like bats. And now I'm like, but they got like flowing locks behind them. A little
Does
weird.
it show that?
But
It's flowing in the wind.
oh, respect. So they're really
cool.
weird, but now that we know Dumbledore rides them and they understand English enough that he can say, "Take us to the Ministry," they're like, "Yep, cool."
Yeah. Well, Hagrid always mentions that they know directions really well, so
Which
I guess
is
they
so
understand it
awesome.
to an extent.
I feel
I didn't
like
think about them. I totally forgot about them.
that wasn't on your radar. I was
Was it
thinking it
on
was a
yours?
potential place that Hermione was going to bring Umbridge when they started going towards the forest. I had Grop pretty locked in, obviously. I literally forgot that it was the Centaurs, but the Thestrals could have made sense. But then I was like, oh man, that'd be so bad because I feel like Umbridge understands Thestrals way better than Hermione. So that would have been dangerous. But
Hermione can't even see them.
yeah, exactly. I feel like the kids should not have stuck together. They've got Thestrals split up. Send one off to find, I don't know, Fred and George,
Yeah, I know.
or the parents, or like somebody else, or Dumbledore.
I know, legit.
Something. So the fact that they all stuck together,
What about
It's
Snape,
heartwarming, but
though?
bad.
That's what I kept thinking. I'm like, Snape is literally... I know we still don't know if he's good or bad, but he's part of it.
yeah.
So, and he's the closest.
Like before
to-
even leaving the school, they should have just
Yeah.
gone to him. Yeah.
So let's go to the next chapter now, actually, because I have a lot more in the next chapter. And give me a quick summary of 34, the Department of Mysteries, because all this stuff is in 34.
Want to take it away?
Go for it. I think I only wrote like 2 quick things.
Oh. The kids fly on the Thestrals to the Ministry. They have to figure out which door to get through. That doesn't really make sense, but it does. When they finally find the right one, Sirius is nowhere to be found, but Harry picks up one of the orb balls, right? That has his name on it.
And then at somewhere in there, they saw floating brains and a veiled arch.
Yep.
There we go.
And that was about all I wrote. So, yeah.
Okay, so the first little thing here, one of the lines is, "This is mad," Ron murmured, moving his free hand gingerly up and down the horse's neck. "Mad, if I could just see it." "You better hope it stays invisible," said Harry darkly. "We all ready then?" Is Harry a dick? Is Harry just a jerk?
He's in some kind of mood.
Yeah.
For the last few days, he's just being
Sleep
mean.
deprived, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ugh.
Although
I'm trying to give him some
He
credit,
is
but
stressed.
he is stressed.
And the person he probably loves, maybe most, the person that's closest
Yep.
to his family, he's petrified over. So I think all this is kind of justified.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same moment, they all are trying to help you.
Right.
So
Yes. I'm picturing when I'm hangry.
yeah.
And even something as stupid as being hungry is enough to make me feel like I'm not myself.
Yeah.
So, Harry in this situation, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, he is certainly not being nice.
Yeah. But again, for sure, it's at least slightly justified. And there's something going on in Harry's mind too, like the added amount of stress that you had this vision hours ago. Hours and
Yeah.
hours and hours ago, and nothing has really changed. Like you need to get to this place, and all your friends are like dragging their feet, and you just have to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that added to it, where it's just so stressful. You just want to get there to figure it out, and you just can't do it. I would be in agony there. But what about riding on invisible horses?
I still don't know how they did that though. Like, what are you holding on to? Do you feel anything? How do you feel anything if they're invisible?
I think you could still feel them though.
Why? How?
Because I'm thinking invisibility is only visual. Like, they're still solid. They still exist. They're not like ghosts. They are real things. You just can't see them. So when they're sitting on their backs, it would feel like if you closed your eyes, it's like I'm on a horse. I imagine it'd be about the same. I mean, riding a horse bareback is not that easy either. And if you're afraid that it's going to try and eat you or something, the fact that they like blood is a little weird. And it also creeped me out that Harry is going into the ministry smelling like blood because they mention that the smell, it's like all over them.
Oh,
and I'm like,
about that.
Can't snakes smell blood too? And now I'm thinking of Nagini and Voldemort with his weird snake nose thing. I'm just like, just don't be walking around bloody.
Just take a quick shower and then you're good.
And doesn't somebody have their wand? Multiple of them do. So can't they just do one spell? What's the cleanup thing?
Didn't Harry and Hermione get their wands back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
so
all
they're
have their
all
own
like,
wands.
just clean yourself up.
Yeah.
Be presentable, and then.
Hermione's probably the only one that knows that.
But she can do that while they're moving. Also, maybe they could have done some spells to stay on the Thestrals. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe you don't need it.
What is your guys' game plan? So you were talking about that. If you are like, they're not exactly thinking logically here, right?
And they're all following Harry a little too blindly.
Yeah. So let's sit back. Let's take Hermione's perspective here. What is the logical way that we solve this problem? Because you were talking about going to Snape. They don't go to Snape at all. Like, they mention something to Snape. Should they have gone back to Snape in the castle to figure something out with them?
Well, Harry was, if he was thinking logically, they're in the forest. They already took care of Umbridge accidentally. They got very lucky. I'm thinking Harry doesn't want them coming. He says, I'd rather have other people from the army. Okay. Instead of just being weird, he could then send them on missions. Okay. You, Luna, can you contact anyone? Run up, write a letter to your dad, try and find a broom, use flu powder in another place here.
Umbridge's
through the
office.
network. Yeah.
It's connected.
And Umbridge is now out of the picture. Sneak through. Here's my invisibility cloak. You grab that, you get to her office, and reach out to people through the flu network. All right, Neville, you go up. I don't know what you do. And then send... wait, who was the third person? Ginny. Send Ginny up to talk to Snape and say, you're smart enough, talk to Snape, figure out if he's on our side. If he is, tell him everything, and he might know how to reach Dumbledore. Like, put them on a mission rather than just sitting there in the forest like, I don't want them with us. It just felt like Harry was so focused he couldn't think of like other options.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think there must be other productive things the kids could do even from Hogwarts without even leaving.
I'm surprised Hermione didn't chime in more.
Suggest some other things.
Yeah, like let's not all go together, or like you were saying.
Or what if they all take the Thestrals and then they land at the Ministry? Then what could they do in London?
But
What else
couldn't
is
one of
in
them go
London?
to Ron's dad?
Yep.
Arthur
Certainly.
Great
Weasley?
point.
Like,
Yeah.
we're all in the Ministry. I'm gonna go to my dad's office. I'm gonna
Mhm.
talk to him, and then I don't know who else is there though.
And
Who else
Wait.
is in London? Someone else is in London.
but this is like in the middle of the night now, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Yep.
maybe nobody's at their office, but then they should know exactly where
Wait,
people
but
are.
also, why didn't they run into the guard of the Ministry?
And right as soon as that happened,
Of
they should have been like,
mysteries.
"Ooh, something's up
Also,
here."
it was really
Yep.
weird that it was empty. Everything
Yep.
was empty. So to me, it was like the Voldemort like took over.
Those are all big red flags, and they all were just so like focused
I
on
guess it
Harry
was that
that they
night,
just kept
but-
running with him.
Yeah.
They didn't leave a single clue for anyone else, and that's where they could have split up.
Yep.
Is Mr. Weasley still at St. Mungo's?
No, he got
No.
released.
He got home.
Yep. Yeah, he's home.
Okay. But St. Mungo's, again, I'm thinking adults. People who are more qualified than these kids. So you could find another wizard at St. Mungo's.
Yeah.
You could go to Diagon Alley, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe find the Weasleys there.
So, okay, so let's knock off, and people are making good comments. Like, Harry's personality, like Becky says, he's acting on emotion, not logic. He would never
Yeah.
think like this, which is true.
So
And
true.
that's one of the reasons why we love Harry. That's one of the reasons why Hermione says he has a saving people complex. Because and every single book, and the first one is my favorite. Like, who cares about finals? Who cares about any of this other stuff? Who
Yes.
cares about getting expelled? We need to go stop this because this is Voldemort is going to rise again, you know? He doesn't care about logic in these senses. He has this saving people thing. He wants people to be safe. And that's one of his greatest attributes, but
We
also
love
his
that about
downfall.
him. Yep.
So that's tough for that. And Ashley April says he's also a teenager in distress, so that's tough. But let's knock
Yeah.
off flu powder. Let's say the Ministry is completely regulating flu powder, so like they couldn't stick their head back into Umbridge's fire or anything
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
Because as soon as they do that, maybe Fudge is going to get them and he's going to imprison them or something ridiculous.
Right.
You know? What else could they have done? So they're on Thestrals. So my question again: what else is in London? Do you remember?
Well, 12 Grimmauld Place, Diagon Alley,
So, yeah,
St. Mungo's
Harry stuck his
Ministry.
head into 12 Grimmauld Place and tried to figure that out.
Oh,
Yep.
they could have just
Maybe
went to-
would it have been worth it to go there to see if anybody's actually there?
Yeah,
Absolutely, because you can't trust
that's
Creature.
what I thought.
Yeah.
Creature was making it up.
Yeah.
Yep, you did. You
Yeah.
nailed it.
It feels like
Because once he gave too much information.
Yeah.
Harry should just ask a question, not like
Yeah.
gave up so much information
Yeah.
that he thinks he knows what's going on.
And that's why it feels like, again, if they split up, and maybe Harry is like not even paying attention, but somebody who has a little more wits about them could then bring it up and say, all right, let's split up here. Let's search different places. Let's try and have a backup plan. They're putting all their eggs in one basket.
Even Thestrals, I'm curious what Thestrals, are they like owls in that they could, if they know a person, they know where they are? Like,
And
could
they
you say,
know
"Take me to
directions.
Dumbledore."
Find Dumbledore.
Yeah.
And even if the kids don't go, can they tell the Thestrals things?
Yeah.
This is what we're doing. Can you go find Dumbledore? You go find Snape. You go find the Weasleys and bring them to us because things are going to go bad.
Yeah. So that's why
don't
they're,
know.
and again, this book is a bunch of teenagers who aren't thinking logically.
Yeah.
They just are on a
Yep.
mission. And so there's something kind of like beautiful about that. I actually really like that, but they are in a mad fury to go to the Ministry. Even some of the stuff that they say, like when they're all crammed into the thing and the telephone booth.
Yeah.
He goes, "Welcome to the Ministry of Magic. Please state your name and business." "Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, Hermione Granger," said Harry very quickly. "Ginny Weasley, Neville Longbottom, Luna Lovegood. We're here to save someone, unless your ministry can do it first." "Thank you," said the cool female voice. "Visitors, please take the badges and attach them to the front of your robes." Half dozen badges slid out of the metal chute where returned coins normally appeared. Hermione scooped them up and handed them mutely to Harry over Ginny's head. He glanced at the topmost one. Harry Potter rescue mission. Is he stupid to do that? Like to even say what his plan is?
I thought so, but
I kind of liked it only because it felt like adults might hear it or it could be recorded or something. Yeah. But it was funny. I was like, this just feels
the whole
so
thing was
off.
weird.
Yeah.
Him stating that and then them just letting them in.
that's what I thought. I was like, they let them in.
Both sides. What is happening? I don't know. It
Like,
felt
that's
fishy.
just normal. Oh, yeah, rescue
Were
mission,
you
cool.
suspicious of that? And are you still suspicious of that? Do you think that maybe Voldemort has seized power of the Ministry of Magic?
Yeah.
And he's like on the other end of the line in a cool female voice?
Oh, gosh.
Or something like that. Maybe he's reprogrammed something. So even though they say they're on a rescue mission, like any normal organization would be like, no, I'm sorry, you can't come in here.
That's not
he
a good
lets
enough
them in
reason.
because
Yep.
of that reason.
I view this as almost like an automated system. It was like, look, you're a wizard. Cool, you're in. This isn't security. This is like, they put the number in. They know the number. They're now coming in. This is just like a technicality. It's like antiquated. It feels like the real security is the security guard, security desk, something there. And that's where the ministry failed because
they didn't have anyone
nobody is there.
Yeah. But then again, if someone was there, he would have to get his wand checked, everything like
Yep.
that. He'd probably be arrested maybe on the spot.
Maybe. In my mind, that would be a good thing.
Yeah.
Because it would be able to get them to someone who might be able to think more clearly, or I don't know, get some orders and like explain what's going on, try and convince people. They can all then go into the Department of Mysteries and do some digging, but I don't know, maybe they wouldn't believe Harry and then he'd be trapped and Sirius could die.
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking is, from Hermione's perspective at least, because she's the most logical, I feel like she can like separate these things. She's thinking either Harry's right and they need to get there to rescue Sirius as soon as possible, or Harry is wrong and this is a trap. I feel like she isn't acting on either of those things.
Yeah.
She's somewhere in the middle. She's not taking it seriously that, Sirius is in
thought-
trouble,
yeah.
but she's also not treating it like it's a trap.
Yeah.
That's
So
what
I'm
I
like,
was wondering.
Just pick a side and take real action that will be effective. Let's say it is Sirius. Will it matter that it's 6 of them there to fight Voldemort directly to save Sirius? What, you have the element of surprise, but you're still going to take on the Dark Lord by yourselves? That doesn't feel like a good plan.
Didn't Harry learn his lesson with
And if it's a
Cedric,
trap, you're
too?
still taking on the Dark Lord, but now you lost the element of surprise. So I'm like, no matter what, it just feels like not a good plan, and I don't know why they all lost sight of it. Again, teenagers caught in the moment. I get it. But I was just like, no, stop, guys.
know.
Reevaluate.
Think through this. And I have to say, I think Hermione, I kind of feel for her in this moment because I think she's almost been shut out of the conversation a little bit.
Yep, you're so right.
Where she is very nervous to say anything anymore because it was confirmed that Sirius wasn't at the house. After that, I think she was like, I need to shut up and just like go along with the plan. And so I think if she chimed in more, her logic maybe would shine through a bit more. Where they could be like, let's sit and talk about this, but it's not.
And
Wait,
even
'cause
with
she
the
could-
veiled arch. What were you saying? She could what?
Okay. You can go.
No, I was just thinking with the veiled arch. She was trying to tell Harry, don't mess with this.
Yeah.
Let's move on. And he was getting sucked in. The veil arch is what I call it. What were you saying?
The Vila Arch.
I don't. I forgot.
John said Hermione, and you said she can. And then I interrupted.
Yep. Classic.
With her logic.
Um.
Because I really do
Oh
think,
yeah, but at the point, Harry wouldn't have believed her, but no one believes creatures. I don't know why he was taking that as like truth. I guess he wanted to believe that it was true, but like just because creatures saying he's not here doesn't mean he's actually not there.
Yeah.
To be fair, Creature brought up the Ministry, not Harry.
I don't think so.
Right?
No.
Or did Harry say, is he at the Ministry right now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then Creature says he is and he's never coming back.
Yeah.
So, like, it feels like Creature still knew the plan.
Yeah.
And this was...
They're in talks, but then it's like if Sirius is doing another mission or something, he could just... I don't know. I just thought it was a fake. He's like, oh, you were going to believe this, and I'm going to confirm your suspicions.
Yep.
So you get trapped.
No logic. Come on, Harry. He's too easy to manipulate. He always thinks he's
But
right.
where's everyone else? Like where is everyone?
Yeah, I know.
Lupin,
Why?
the
Yeah.
Weasleys,
Where are the adults?
like Tonks, Mad Eye Moody. Like where are they?
What are they doing right now? I
They're
know.
like kidnapped.
Ooh,
I mean,
interesting.
so they kind of know what's happening, meaning the Order kind of knows what's happening.
Wait, what
with
if
Voldemort.
that lady came back to her house, whatever creature worships, and like kidnapped all the people that were there?
You should
And that's
clarify.
why Sirius, Lupin, everyone's not there.
It could be. Then things are even more dire because 6 kids cannot take on the crew that could subdue all of the rest of the Order. But it feels to me like if that happened, then Voldemort is way more in tune with what the Order is up to. Creature is spilling the beans through the picture or
Creature
through
should have been
Bellatrix or
beheaded like
whoever.
a long time ago.
Yeah. It feels bad because I'm wondering how specific was Voldemort in choosing this time to lure Harry in. Did he know that the rest of the Order was going to be busy doing something else at this time? Did he already capture the rest of the Order
That's what I think.
and now he needs Harry? I don't know.
Talking this through.
But you're right. Where's
Didn't
anyone else?
Didn't his because it was hurting him too,
Mm-hmm.
his scar,
Mhm.
and if he wasn't beating up
Other people in
Sirius,
the Order.
maybe he
Oh,
was
yeah.
collecting the crew.
But I'm imagining if Voldemort can fake the entire vision,
Yeah.
I'm thinking he could also fake the feelings, the emotions. Maybe.
Oh, so Harry's scar like would hurt.
Like Voldemort could make him think whatever. He could make it hurt out of joy or anger or anything. I'm thinking. Unless that's the purest connection and the vision is something that he could muster up with occlumency or what's the other one with L that I always forget?
Legitimacy.
Legitimacy.
Yeah.
I don't know, but either way, Harry should have listened.
Oof. Yeah. Quick question.
Yeah.
Mainly for Jen. Did you listen ahead at all for the next chapter, or did you sneak a peek at? Because someone tells Harry to give him the little orb thing. Do you know who did that? This is like
I was
going
going to ask you that. What voice did it use in the audiobook?
Oh,
Because I'm assuming it's Voldemort.
that's what it sounded like to me.
Because that's one of the questions about this whole thing is like, if Voldemort is sitting there rounding all the whole Order of the Phoenix up, because they've been weirdly absent from like from when they're doing like almost the second half of this book. Like, where are they right now at this moment? Why is there no one at the front desk? Why is there no one on guard duty? Usually there's someone on guard duty doing something. Like,
Yeah,
where is the
even
Order?
that's what I was saying. Like, even the ones that were guarding like the Ministry,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. What the heck is it called?
Department of Mysteries.
Yeah. Oh. They always had someone on guard.
Mm.
They didn't run into anyone before they get into the department.
Yeah, the guard does not make sense.
Like, they would rotate.
Unless the guards are responsible for a lot of things, and they got the official call that Umbridge, her wand broke. A
No, the
little
guard
spike
was
of
one
magic.
of the Order guards.
Wait, what do you mean the guard?
The guard for the Department of Mysteries was
not the
Order
guard
of the Phoenix.
Ministry. Gotcha. Because you're
person.
right. They've had someone from the Order guarding the Department of Mysteries this whole time.
Yeah, and there was
Except
no
right
one
now.
there.
So that is
So
a
they
flaw.
should have come across someone.
But maybe that to Harry was confirming Sirius. Like, nobody else was around, so they put Sirius on guard, or I don't know. That would
Oh,
make me more
I
nervous
guess.
than anything else. But again, not like charge in by yourselves nervous, but like,
Wait, Sirius would not be on guard in the.
well, that's what I'm saying. He wouldn't. He's not supposed to leave 12 Grimmauld at all, but he's currently in the Department of Mysteries, according to Harry, like in his mind. So Harry would have to be asking himself, how did he get there? And clearly, from Harry's side, Sirius is not at 12 Grimmauld anymore. So was he guarding? Was he whatever? But then you get there, and even if you expect it to be another member of the Order, like, nobody's there. So something is going wrong one way or another. So I think to Harry, that would just confirm Voldemort's here. That's why nobody's guarding. Whether it's serious or
But then he's fine with bringing all his friends to verse him. That
He's
sounds
very
like
confident.
terrible. Friend.
But he is 3 for 3.
Yeah, he is, but not everyone else. Cedric died.
I know.
Exactly.
I have a devastating question I'm going to ask you guys in a bit.
They should have all just stayed outside, and
I know.
he would have went in. Like,
But you know his friends are loyal. They wouldn't do it.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to do it. It's
Any
like,
one of them could
I
have
would
turned
have
back.
stayed out.
He
I
didn't
was
he
your
want
friend.
them to
Yeah,
stay?
guard.
He tried, yeah.
Yeah. And
It's
Ginny
in
was
like
like,
another
how
Lord of
can
the
we-
Rings thing. It's like
Here we go again. These crossovers.
when Aragorn's about to leave to find the dead army, and Gimli goes, "What does he say exactly? We might as well accept it. We're coming with you." Their loyalty, and it's beautiful. We love some good loyalty.
They're
in
a
these books.
fellowship,
I
you
love
know?
that. Yeah,
I don't know if I
exactly.
would have went. I'm too afraid.
Yeah, it would be freaky.
Yeah.
I would go if there were other people surrounding me. I probably wouldn't go in alone to any of those places. That's a super creepy place. But it's a little less
Yeah, like
creepy
3
with friends around you.
outside, 3 inside.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go. Boom.
Yeah. Jen's thinking through this logically right now. I love that.
Jen's like, I'm staying outside. And I'm with you.
We'll stay in the atrium, guys. We'll go to Mr. Weasley's office.
Yes.
This was a question on Reddit that some people had for you guys, but now that this was like an earlier question, but now that you know some things in the Department of Mysteries, I think I've asked this before to an extent. If you could either create a job or take any job in the Ministry of Magic or in the wizarding world just in general, what would you want to be when you grew up as a wizard? Because you know like the different floors of the Ministry of Magic now. Would you want to work in the Ministry of Magic? Let's say there was a good Minister of Magic. Would that be more appealing? Would you want to work in the Department of Mysteries?
That sounds neat.
Sure does.
Figuring out the different mysteries of the wizarding world and protecting it. That sounds
What?
kinda
Okay.
neat. What
On
do
that
they
note
do?
too, Jen, why is it called the Department of Mysteries? What is going on with these rooms?
Great question. I don't know. It is. I wonder if it's like they. Maybe it's like things that are not common and they're trying to figure out what they do. So they're keeping them in this department to research more and get more information. Or are they dangerous things and they're putting them in these rooms so that way no one can encounter them? Are they breeding stuff to create a
Yeah.
new creature for something in the future? I
They
don't
definitely
know.
do breeding of some kind because they were, at some point, we were worried Hagrid was going to get in trouble because the Ministry is allowed to do certain breeding, but he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the elevator, maybe we saw some reference to breeding. And now we got brains or breeding things in a jar. But the question I'm wondering is, how mysterious is it to them? Like the people who work for the Department of Mysteries, are they still mysteries? Like they're like, how does this archway work? Or what do these brains do? Or are some of these mysteries a little less mysterious than they let on to the rest of the Ministry?
What are the rooms that we've uncovered so far? There's the brain room. Room with the archway.
Archway, sparkle room that they walked through.
Sparkle room.
Yeah,
That's the
wasn't
one that
Harry
Harry-
saying it was like
Oh.
bright or sparkly?
Yeah.
There were all the clocks. It's like a time room pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know why
And-
it was like
'cause
maybe sparkly.
There was the
Yeah, it said
hummingbird that
something
was
like
like being reborn the whole
Oh.
time, and that
Yep.
was like glowing. That had like an eminence around it.
Oh, okay.
That was like sparkling.
And the room that was spinning was the first room. Like they
Yeah.
opened that room, went in, spinning room. But the hummingbird, where was that? Was that in the room
That
with
was
the
in the
clocks?
time room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious about that. It feels like they designed that thing to keep the hummingbird captive. What happens if you let it out? What happens if you let the brains out? What happens if you go through the arch?
The dog's out.
Who let the dogs out? I don't know, but at this point, again, because I'm thinking Voldemort is waiting for them in this room and they have no plan, they could maybe just create a little chaos, and that might be their only way out of this at this point. I don't know. Unless it's not even Voldemort and he just wanted Harry to go in here to get trapped because of something else that will eventually lead to a way Voldemort could trap him or whatever. Maybe Voldemort's not even there at all, and this was just something else. What if... nah. I was thinking, what if the Order was in there trying to capture the weapon themselves? Like we were speculating, if they catch it first, they can keep it safe, blah, blah, blah. And then Voldemort wanted to sabotage the Order's mission by sending 6 kids stumbling into the middle of it all. So maybe the reason there was no guard is because the Order already took care of the guard, and now they're the ones, and Harry gets there, and then the voice we heard wasn't Voldemort, it was actually someone Harry trusts. But this is going to throw a wrench in their plan because Voldemort wanted this wrench to be thrown in their plan.
Okay. Even on that whole note, there's this line that we get where Ron goes, "What are those things?" "Don't know," said Harry. "Are they fish?" breathed Ginny. "Aquarius maggots," said Luna excitedly. "Dad said the Ministry are breeding." "No," said Hermione. She sounded odd. She moved forward to look through the side of the tank. "They're brains." Brains? Yes, I wonder what they're doing with them. So, the first question, what is the Ministry doing with these brains? And then, actually, yeah, we'll start with that question. What is the Ministry doing with these brains?
Reading their minds.
Reading whose minds?
Whose brains are they?
Okay.
I don't know.
Could they
How
be
many brains? How big are these
Are
brains?
they people?
How big are
brains?
these
they creatures'
Aquavarius
brains?
maggots? Yeah, exactly. Creatures
Or people?
or people?
Or maybe these creatures can do special things that humans want to be able to do. Maybe they live forever. And they're like, let's dissect their brain and see what we're missing.
Maybe they're dragon brains, trying to extract some magic. Maybe
Armor.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Goblin brains? Well, that'd be extreme. That'd be extreme.
Yeah.
That would
Don't
fall
put it
to
past
Luna's.
Cornelius
yeah,
Fudge,
you're
though.
right. Fudge set this one up. That's why he's
That's
boiling
his
up some
kitchen.
goblin brains. Maybe that's where this whole thing came from. If he's boiling goblins, this brains in a jar is not so far off from boiling goblins. Or could they just be other wizards? I just assumed wizards. They're keeping wizard brains in a jar or in a giant vat. But then when I saw maggots, I'm like, I don't know how big these maggots are. Could these be really tiny brains? Because maggots are usually really tiny. But then who's really tiny brains? I don't know.
There is like an aura around each of these rooms. That certain members of the group get attracted to one of the rooms or not. First of all, so far, would you be attracted to any of the rooms? Would you be interested in any of these rooms so far? What is the creepiest room and what is the most attractive room to you? This is such a fun psychological question for me. Because I was just thinking of this before, like, I can't exactly reveal, but probably the next, like, 2 chapters we'll be able to talk about this more in depth.
Is the hummingbird room for me. That would attract me. Because I couldn't tell if the hummingbird was a good, beautiful thing to be set free or an evil thing that was being caged on purpose. And that idea drew me in. And the archway room was the scariest, most nefarious. Gave me the Hermione feelings of like, let's get out of here, guys. I don't like this.
What about you, Jen?
The brain room is probably intriguing for me. Even though it's kind of gross.
That's the grossest one for me.
But I was scared of the archway one too.
It's like Enneagram. What rooms do you like? What rooms scare you?
Kristen, what about you?
Ew, the brain room grossed me out.
Really?
Yeah, I'd take a step in there and pass out. That would be gross.
What's the most intriguing to you?
Probably the what was the one you said?
The hummingbird one?
Yeah, maybe that one. I don't know. I didn't feel like drawn to any of them. The brain one grossed me out.
Yeah. Why do you think certain members of the group are attracted to a certain room more than others? Because Hermione has this note, which is a weird one, where she almost wants to stay in the brain room. She's like intrigued by it, not fearful of it at all. When she goes into the room with the archway, there's real panic in her voice, like real fear. And she's like, we need to get out of here. But Harry is attracted to that room. When they go through the time room, Harry is like, let's just go. This is the door. We need to get there. Ginny gets stuck behind looking at this, like
bird.
Hummingbird. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why are these characters attracted to those kinds of rooms? Why does like it pull them in?
The Boggarts or like the Dementor thing. Where like your whatever is your most feared thing you see. So like maybe it's the I don't know, a play on that kind of thing where it's like whatever. I don't know. That's all I got.
No, I see what you mean. It's not like something isn't going to materialize specifically for you. You're going to be placed in a situation and you'll either be attracted or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Right, because it's like you don't really know what it is that you like or fear, but when you're in front of it, it like pulls that out of you.
Yeah, for sure.
Because kind of.
What is beyond this veil in the archway?
Harry seemed to think it would take them somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Hermione was like, well, it doesn't even make sense. There's just an arch. Like,
Yeah, but she was so afraid. Why would she be so afraid?
She just didn't want them to mess with it at all.
So this is the description too. Instead of a chain chair, however, there was a raised stone dais in the center of the pit, on which stood a stone archway that looked so ancient, cracked, and crumbling that Harry was amazed the thing was still standing. Unsupported by any surrounding wall, the archway was hung with a tattered black curtain or veil, which, despite the complete stillness of the cold surrounding air, was fluttering very slightly as though it had just been touched. "Who's there?" said Harry, jumping down to the bench below. There was no answering voice, but the veil continued to flutter and sway. Then there's another line where he hears voices, and he goes, the line goes, "I can hear them too," breathed Luna, joining them around the side of the archway and gazing at the swaying veil. "There are people in there." "What do you mean, in there?" demanded Hermione, jumping down from the bottom step and sounding much angrier than the occasion warranted. "There isn't anything in there. It's just an archway. There's no room for anybody to be there." "Harry, stop it. Come away." What is going on? What's beyond this veil?
It felt like something where Luna and only Harry could hear. Like, you know how the Thestrals are like some... So to me, it was like, is it something with like dead people? Is it something that they can hear because they've experienced that? Did Neville hear it too?
You don't get an indication that Neville
Didn't
did.
say anything.
Yeah,
right?
he doesn't. I don't think he mentions anything. I think Luna's just the one that says she hears something, which almost fits Neville's personality too. I don't think he would say it. He was hesitant about admitting to even Thestrals.
Or then I thought, was it a snake sound? I thought it was a snake, and he was hearing like parcel tongue. And then I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if Luna can do something like that too.
Didn't one of you guys have a theory Luna and Harry are siblings or something weird like that? I feel like there was a theory floating around about that.
Oh my!
Sounds like something we would say. I was wondering. I had the idea that they were people who were dead. I think that was just in my head of the whole Department of Mysteries with the brains. Although seeing them as the size of cauliflowers, I'm thinking they're maybe not human brains. But and then even these orbs and the veil, I was thinking it was people who are no longer with us. Again, with like Harry heard in the graveyard, things like that. But then I'm also wondering, could the voices on the other side of the veil, like, could this be holding people captive? Could it be
is Voldemort keeping people behind this veil?
could it be the other members of the Order? Are they trapped there?
Oh,
And the
that'd be
amphitheater that this thing is in, so we well, maybe that was the movie.
or the whole Department of Ministry stuck behind there.
Threw everyone in there.
He took
Whoa,
everyone captive.
Man.
Wow.
What? Voldemort could do that.
Yeah, he could easily do that.
Certainly could. They haven't seen any people since the forest. I'm just also thinking, like, maybe the kids are the trapped ones. Maybe on the other side of the veil is reality. They're in the upside down right now.
Oh my
A little
god.
extreme. But, like, what if that's why there was no guard and they haven't seen any people? They're literally like, oh, they did see someone driving in London. Maybe they accidentally went through a portal to get into the Ministry, and that's how they're getting all the way in, or how Voldemort got in. But I'm wondering why this veiled archway is in the middle of an amphitheater. Why is it, like, meant to be displayed like that? What if this actually is for doing trials? Maybe it's a passageway that goes directly to, like, Azkaban. So people come through, are put on trial or something, or asked questions and then sent back. But an amphitheater feels weird, especially in the Department of Mysteries, because I have the idea that the Department of Mysteries is not for a lot of people. It's for a very select few. But an amphitheater kind of implies many people being in the same place. So, I don't know, maybe you take the archway as another form of travel, and hundreds of wizards are taking this and landing there and all having discussions in this room.
Maybe something terrible comes out of this and you got to fight it. That's why it's like the Colosseum
Like
kind
the
of.
trials. It's, like Harry and his dragon stuff.
I know.
But I don't know. And because we hear it from Harry's perspective, I wanted him to stay and, like, investigate a little more.
Because
But maybe it's a trap.
there's a weird note too in this where not I guess not that weird, but he thinks he hears Ron's voice in it. Is there anything weird with that? Because he thought he goes, Ron, is that you? And Ron was on the other side of the archway. And he's like, no, Harry, I'm here.
Could it be his dad? Could he sound like his dad?
Another Weasley, yeah.
Or his
Interesting.
brother?
Yeah, because that's like the DA members or no, the Order of the Phoenix members.
Even though they never said that before, but maybe.
Why could nobody else hear it, though? That's the weird part. There are people in there.
Well, that's why I think it's like something with like dead. I don't know. The Thestrals, being able to see them is the one thing that like is a common denominator between Luna and Harry.
So yeah, why can people see Thestrals? Because they've seen death, right? Is that the same with the veil, or is it something different?
It was hard to tell. We didn't get a real good idea of what Luna was up to. I thought they left Luna in this room. Because afterwards, like, it didn't mention Luna for like a full page, and I was like, "Where's Luna?" And they're like unlocking the next door and stuff, and it mentioned everyone else by name except her. So I was like, "What just happened to Luna?" But then I think she was mentioned, halfway down the next page. I was like, "All right, she's safe." But I don't know. Huh. Luna said, so you know what could be in there? And she asked it as a question, but then Hermione cuts her off.
Yeah.
Something blibbering, no doubt. But I want to know what Luna thought.
I know, you're like Hermione. All right, we know your logic and everything like that, but be quiet just for a
And
second.
that's like a
so
Ron
we can
thing
know
to
what Luna
say.
thinks. Yeah.
Hermione just played Ron for
I
a
know.
second, cutting her off to make like a comment like that. It's weird.
One second, I gotta type something interesting in the chat. Chat's going crazy with some stuff right now.
Shocking. One day we'll be on the ends.
I know.
Right now we're on the outs, and they're having fun.
Okay, so we're not exactly sure what the archway is for sure yet. Maybe we'll figure this out as we go on. But they go through this time room. What exactly is happening in this time room?
I don't even remember it.
Something crazy is happening in this time room.
Anytime Kristen looks at me, my face is in like ecstasy of like asking you guys questions. I just am so excited.
His
about
hand
this.
moving like this, and I was like, "What does this?
What
face
is
look
in
like?
the time room?
Oh, man.
It's gotta be something good if he's that excited.
It is definitely something good. So, the time room,
Could it be like your favorite thing going back in time?
it's given me those vibes, yeah. Like,
Is that the hummingbird? It keeps exploding or whatever.
the
and
hummingbird
it's
is
like
Father Time? I don't know, because, like, again,
Time Turner.
yeah, that, like, niche theory that all of time was stopped at some point. Again, the idea that Voldemort made it in this far, which is what we're currently thinking, Voldemort having access to all of this stuff is no bueno. Because I'm thinking, if this has any kind of time control, Voldemort could have messed with any of these things they've already seen before going to the orb room. So, who put these clocks in there? I'm thinking it's a collection of other clocks.
Could it be like a clock like the Weasleys? Like
Showing whether people are
life?
safe. Yep. And then this becomes a room where you can like keep an eye on all wizards, you know, because it's hundreds of clocks. So you're like, oh, let's take a look at the Potter clock. And you go up there and you can see what each of the Potters is up to. Or you can say, all right, let's take a look at the Weasley clock or the dozen Weasley clocks, since it's one of the big wizarding families. And they've got a whole like section of those clocks. And I don't know. The idea of like being able to get a pulse on everyone could certainly be. But we didn't hear anything about time turners like sand in an hourglass or like, but it is time, so maybe. But the hummingbird, what's the hummingbird and in an egg being reborn, what does that
It
represent?
reminds me of like the Phoenix in a way.
Yeah,
But different.
and it's like rising to the top, comes out,
What does the
then
hummingbird
sinks back
represent?
down, back in the egg.
It's almost like stuck on a loop somehow.
And then if it was not,
So was
What
it
was it?
messed with already, or was it that's what it was? Like a stuck on a loop, or
I
did
don't know.
Voldemort already mess with it?
or is that loop just another way of keeping time? So that
So
it's
is
like you're
time
in there and you
frozen?
can mess with all the clocks, because that's like how you can tell if time is passing as normal. The hummingbird is your true, your true test of time. And then everything else you could, I don't know, time travel or change things or pause things. But I don't know.
On top of that, why is this other room attached to the room of time? Why is it not a separate room? And what is this other room that they're going into? Full of the glass orbs.
Still don't know. We didn't see a single label on another single orb. We just know it's gigantic. At least it seems that way.
But it had Harry and Voldemort's name on the same one.
On the same orb, and it was dull. I thought it was going to be vibrant and bright. Why is theirs so dull?
All of theirs. I guess it's dustier, maybe.
Maybe, but it sounded like there was like some of these other orbs, the light was growing or glowing brighter. It was like almost giving off
Yeah.
light. This is like a dull, gross brown. Maybe just covered in dust. Or maybe it's about what it means. Like, what did you think it meant? Harry, Voldemort, one orb.
Okay, so this is what it says. SPT to APWBD, Dark Lord, and question mark Harry Potter.
Wait, say it one more time.
SPT to APWDB, Dark Lord, and question mark Harry Potter.
I'm trying to think if I can get anything on this acronym. I already spent a while trying to come up with something, and I had nothing. But the question
You
mark...
should have written some funny ones that you did not.
Yeah, I know. I did think about
Like-
it, but then totally forgot to go back. I was thinking for a second that this could be like Dumbledore's two snakes in the smoke, like things coming together. like separate, in essence divided? Like, is that answering the same question that this is? Question mark Harry Potter. Like, originally this label may have said just Voldemort, but now they had to add question mark Harry Potter because some of his essence was put into Harry, maybe. SPT.
And why is there a question mark next to Harry Potter's name?
They're not sure if he's going to be evil or not. Or could it be that they share the same wand essence? Or actual magic?
I'm trying to think of all of Dumbledore's names, because Albus, bunch of middle names, Dumbledore. But I think one of his middle names is Brian or something funny, and there's no B here.
Yeah, there is right there.
What? Oh, ends with Brian. Albus, Phineas,
Wilson.
Wizard Man, Brian.
Wizard Man! Oh,
What was it? No, that doesn't make any sense. Actually, it could, but what would SPT to? Like, let's say it's someone's name.
Sirius.
Nah, but Black? Wait, what's Trelawney's first name?
Oh, yeah, they're related somehow.
No, Snape's, that's his last name. I don't know. Now I am actually curious about Dumbledore's real name. But
Sirius,
what would it, even it,
Petunia.
let's say it's two people.
And Lily.
Someone
Gosh,
to someone, Dark Lord and Harry Potter? Someone to someone. Unless this truly is Dumbledore's smoky thing, and this is something communicating to Dumbledore about the Dark Lord and Harry Potter. But if that was true, this room full of hundreds or thousands of these, each one is somebody's little smoke machine to communicate about connections. Like, that doesn't seem to make sense.
And why would he want it?
Yeah.
Why does Voldemort, he can't touch it and he wants it?
But I was almost thinking that didn't even matter. Like, this could have been any other room. If this is a trap for Voldemort is setting for Harry, it feels like it could almost be any room. Like, he could have trapped him in a different place. If the idea is just to trap Harry, or the idea that Harry touched this thing, and right then is when he came out. Did Harry need to touch this? Nobody else could?
That's what it seemed like.
I don't know.
Because no one could get... Remember they had other people go and they said that he had to touch it or he knows how to touch it? The one
Wait,
that they... Lucius.
Yeah, you could only...
Malfoy.
Yeah.
No, not Lucius. Yeah, the dad, right? He put a curse on someone else to pick it up and they couldn't do it. And someone else tried to touch this item and they were teaching someone how to pick this item up. So
someone else is able to pick it up?
for some reason Voldemort can't touch it. I don't know why.
But that's what seems weird, because it's Dark Lord and question mark Harry Potter. So it was just confirmed Harry can pick it up. But wouldn't you think the Dark Lord could too? Or maybe that's the whole trap. That's why Voldemort needed Harry to end up here to pick it up. And Voldemort's not here at all. This was all just a trap to get Harry to pick it up. But then how does Voldemort end up with this? And why is this the weapon?
But has Voldemort been trying to get it himself? Why is his motive for not wanting to get this because he doesn't think he can pick it up, or because he doesn't want to go into the Ministry of Magic, or another reason?
It could be both. So maybe, and that would answer our question of whether Voldemort is here. And that would confirm that Voldemort is not here. He could never get into the Ministry. And all of his minions who could get into the Ministry, or people that were under the Imperious Curse, they could get there, but they couldn't pick it up. So Harry just did the dirty work, picking it up. But then whose voice is it if it's not Voldemort? Then it's just someone else from the Order. Harry, what are you doing here? Why'd you show up here? This makes no sense.
Or a
Maybe.
Death Eater.
Or Dumbledore was guarding this place.
Dumbledore's going to turn out bad.
Wait, SPT. Could that be a name?
Yeah, try to work that out. SPT to APWBD.
Is Dumbledore's full name at the beginning of this?
I didn't think those were people.
When they were in the trial. Let's
the
just
trial.
confirm that.
So in the trial, when he comes to Harry's defense, he says his full name. So try to figure out if that matches.
Let's go find the trial time. That'll confirm some stuff for us.
I thought that was like a time frame, like what was going on in history too, from SPT to this time frame.
Interesting, yeah.
The Dark Lord and Harry Potter. That's what I read it as.
Oh,
Like-
it's him. Oh, it's him.
What is it?
Albus, Percival, Wulfric, Brian, Dumbledore.
Wow.
Interesting.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a Dumbledore, all right. But let me just scan the other names mentioned here. Cornelius, Oswald, Fudge, nope. Dolores Jane Umbridge, Percy, Ignatius Weasley. I don't see any other names that obvious right here.
It can't be the Dark Lord's name? No, because he's Riddle, right? Tom Riddle.
Mm-hmm. What could SPT mean? Could it be a name? Could it be something other than a name?
It could definitely be something other than a name, but why SPT 2? I feel like it's probably not a name. I would go back and forth.
What is the uncle's name?
Which uncle?
Dursley?
Vernon
Yeah, that's it.
Dursley, VD.
You don't have to figure it out here, but it.
So true.
Yeah.
I'll be thinking about it constantly.
Danny.
He's gonna have a whole chart on his wall.
Yeah, I'm like, I will go back and read all the books and write. This is why I neted the every name written down.
Was that
I
was
thought
that
about
like
doing
meme
that.
like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where he has like the whole
Yeah.
thing? Danny's gonna be like in a dark room. We're gonna like open the door. He's gonna be like, "Shut it! I
Guys,
don't
I
need
think I
any
found
more
it."
light. It's perfectly situated right now. I need to figure out what SPT means." Okay. This could possibly be referring. It could be to Albus, Percival, Wulfric, Brian, Dumbledore, Dark Lord, and Harry Potter.
But what is it to him, though?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what does Dumbledore have to do with this?
Yep.
Did Dumbledore order this? I'm wondering. So, to Dumbledore. I'm wondering if this has to do with death or a wizard will, or. But then which way would that go? If Dumbledore dies, he bequeaths. But why would he give anything to Voldemort?
He's got a big fortune.
If this is a giant wizard betting ring, and he put a bet down between.
So all these orbs
Voldemort and Harry.
represent bets.
Yeah.
What else could these orbs represent?
McGonagall is in charge of this.
Yeah, she runs the place.
Could this be McGonagall's name right here? What are all these orbs? People, I've never seen someone root for someone so hard, Danny. People are willing me to put it
together.
To figure this out.
That means it's within reach. It can be done. I will get this, guys. And it stinks too because we're doing a live read on the next chapter.
I know.
So even when I leave, I won't be able to read more
I know.
until whenever we can meet next, and it's some busy weeks. SPT. So if I can't tell who. Like, who made this happen? Who initiated this? And is Dumbledore's name on anything else here? Thousands of orbs.
Mm-hmm.
All being created or established by people?
Like, let's
By
take
Dumbledore?
the example
Headmasters?
of this one orb that we have so far. It's SPT to what you think is Albus Dumbledore, and you have Voldemort, the Dark Lord, and Harry Potter's name. That's a baseline for all of them. What is it? Why is it these people to these people? What is it about these people? Could that be? Is it like that format for every other one of these orbs?
I'm thinking, yeah. But again, thinking Harry Potter is the curveball. It might be to one. Like someone to someone label. Is it like a message for somebody? Because then it could be for...
Like, you have to try to figure out what SPT means.
Because
might
that
unlock
is
it
the
for
key.
you.
Because if...
Is it a name? Is it an object? Is it magic? Is it an
could
incantation?
be a name, but I'm thinking about all the names, and we don't have a lot of T names.
So let's go through
Trelawney's first name.
That's what I'm trying to think. I don't know her first name.
I think she does give her first name.
Agreed.
in
I
these.
just because even when she's getting kicked out, it might be her full name. I'll double check that.
Find that out, because you had this whole theory on that, right? That she came at a certain time because
she
something
did.
was
She
going
definitely
on.
came when all the
Yeah,
stuff
so
was
let's-
going down.
Can you find her
And it
name?
was exactly 16 years ago. Wait, let me see the part that also says 16
yeah,
years.
when she goes
because
back, because when
that
she's getting
timeline-
evaluated.
All right, so in spidery writing was written a date of some 16 years previously. So, do you remember what month it is, Jen?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
It's March.
It's March.
Yeah, definitely March, guys. Okay. Because 16 years ago would be, I was going to say 1980. Yeah, 1980. Because it would be 96 right now. It was 95 at the start of the year. 96 right now. April, May. Actually, it must be June even because they're doing finals or the OWLs. So, all right, let's say June. It is.
Figure out what her name is first.
I know, that's what
Let's
I'm
figure out.
is everywhere.
That's what I'm
He's
trying to
figure
get
it
him.
all
Like,
out.
come
So
on.
Okay.
this is the good timing for Trelawney. Let's just find her name.
What chapter?
So
was it?
there's probably two. There could
It's
be. I
not
don't exactly
Snape's
know
worst memory.
if it could be in this book. There's two
Saint.
possible locations of where her name would be. It would be in
When
the
she's-
evaluation chapter, where
When
the
Umbridge is going
Hogwarts High
through-
Inquisitor,
Yeah.
or it would be when she's getting sacked.
I'm gonna check when she's getting sacked.
Then I'll check the other one.
Nice.
Because she gets sacked.
Don't make it too easy on us, John.
I'm trying to figure out the chapter.
Read the whole book really quick.
Yeah,
Go.
yeah, yeah. Right. Oh, it's got to be after that. Yeah, it can't be. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Wait, where is that one? Oh, 15/06.
Creature, what up?
You want me to tell you what chapter it's in?
You're a little behind
Alright,
because
sure.
you're caught up on your
So it could possibly. I think the sacking of Trelawney is in chapter 26.
Yeah, because 15 is the High Inquisitor
Yeah.
one.
Seen and unforeseen.
Is that the one you're saying is on here? And Trelawney, it could be a vision of. Oh wait, what if it is Trelawney to Dumbledore, a vision of Lord Voldemort, and she thinks, I think it's Harry Potter, and this is what's gonna happen. Maybe that's.
And she can capture
maybe
her
it's-
vision in there.
Yeah, maybe that's what these orbs are.
And that's why she got hired. Because
Guys, find out
Let's
what the
confirm this
heck her
before we
first
go
name
crazy.
is. If her middle name is in there.
Well, you're not helping. Give us the chapter.
Did.
He said 26.
He did.
Fired. She would be sacked. She's been here 16 years. Sorry.
I don't care about the years. Can you just give me her name?
Page 595, and then let's keep reading until we find her name, if it's here, and then we'll go back to the other spot if we need to.
I'm on chapter 15 looking for her
No,
name.
it's in 26, Jen.
He said he gave us 2 options.
Yeah, for sure. I
But
did
we'll
give
go
you
to
2
that one
options.
afterwards.
Try to find it in
You
the
know
sacking
what?
chapter.
I'm not 100% myself. So this is
Well. Oh, boy.
Did you find it?
Her name is Sybil. You know what letter that starts with? Well, actually, it could be C or S, but in this case, S.
What does it say in the book? You're reading it, Danny.
Let me
Is it
think.
spelled with a C?
No, it's spelled with an S.
Well, there you go.
Sybil. But we don't know her middle name. But I want to try and find her middle name.
Wait, Jen, what was your theory before? So you think it's Sybil
oh, now you
Trelawney?
care about it. You
Yes, we figured out her first name.
we
though.
already
So-
knew that it was Trelawney. I didn't even know.
We already knew it was Trelawney.
So you think this could be Sybil Trelawney saying something to Dumbledore about possibly Harry Potter for what? What about Harry Potter?
The Dark Lord and Harry Potter are doing something evil that ruins the world.
So they could be banding together.
Yes.
Like your theory that Harry Potter is
Question
the
mark.
weapon.
Yes.
And this is the thing that will convert Harry Potter to the dark side.
Well, I didn't say that part, but the weapon, yes.
So how would that work,
So
Jen?
then all these orbs are just like,
Predictions?
maybe.
Can any seer
Could
throw
they
an
be
orb up
little-
in here? And why would there be thousands of these? And
Because they're,
does Dumbledore know it?
what's the heck is that called? But then why would the Dark Lord want that?
Right. Why is that a weapon? So Trelawney, right before she gets hired. Actually, does that even make sense? Something. So Trelawney to Dumbledore, Dark Lord, and maybe Harry Potter. Is this... So it's a vision of the future? Who put it here? Dumbledore or Trelawney? Did Dumbledore already see this vision? Or was Trelawney saving the vision for Dumbledore for later?
It's a mystery because it's in that department.
Very much a mystery. So who decided, hey, we're going to let all these memories just be sitting in here like delayed send on an email, waiting to be passed on to people? And if Harry didn't come here and
It's
pick it
part
up
of history.
himself...
It's like a history book. They're
so
memories.
is this nothing to do with today? This is in that moment.
Yeah, but
Trelawney
Wizarding
and
World is
Dumbledore?
history in past, present, future.
Whoa. So was Harry never meant to find this?
I have no idea.
Or is this all what was going down the night? Maybe Voldemort doesn't truly understand what happened that night with Harry, and this is a weapon because it's going to help him defeat Harry.
Maybe it
because he's going to get
replays
to
what
replay
happened.
that night.
Yeah, and then he could take back his power.
So to Dumbledore, so maybe Dumbledore goes to Trelawney and says, "Yo, Lonnie, what's up? Tell me what's going
Sybil.
down. Voldemort's crushing people, and we've got to stop him. Does he win, or are we going to be able to stop him?" And then Trelawney gives this vision.
But maybe
Dumbledore says,
she's
"Lock it
giving the
in, orb
vision.
that thing up. Let's save it for later." Why?
But maybe she made a prediction about who this like chosen child would be, and she's like, "I think it might be one of the Potter kids," and then he goes to find Harry and
But
kill the Potter.
Harry's the question mark.
Exactly.
Is Voldemort the chosen one?
No.
Because it says it's like Dark Lord and
Jen
maybe
was so disgusted at that.
So Trelawney tells Dumbledore,
There's a child that could be the same level as Lord Voldemort and defeat him in the future. And maybe it's the Potter kid, so we have to protect them. So then, I don't know. Like, we still don't know why Voldemort went to kill Harry Potter's parents.
was this the reason he went to find Harry?
Maybe. Maybe he wants Harry to open it so he could see why he went to go kill his parents.
So
and
the
kill
weapon
him.
part, Harry could still be the weapon. Voldemort wants Harry to see what's inside this orb.
Maybe.
And why is it dull?
Because why is him questioning me?
Because I'm curious what you think. Because I just can't wrap my mind around it. Is it dull because it's 16 years old and
No,
the
I
bright
think
ones are
it's
from
like-
yesterday? And
No.
age dulls it?
No.
Or is it the strength of the connection between two people? So every orb is an indication of connection? Or
Because maybe it's dull because it's like, maybe they're bright when it's prediction and it didn't happen yet, and it dulls as it comes to fruition.
it dulls as it comes to fruition?
Maybe not. Seems backwards.
No, it kind of makes sense. Like it's bright. It shows up in the orb.
We're like so off topic, I bet. They're like laughing on the chat
Well-
about us.
How would it be? How
They
would
are
it end
not.
up in the orb? Like, is every orb a crystal ball? In Diagon Alley, there's a store that sells crystal balls.
What the heck? How do you remember this?
Because it said it back in like book
Because
one
you
or two or
take
something.
notes on every single
Well, because they're fascinating. But we haven't really seen much except I think Trelawney might have one. Yeah, she does. Because they all look in it. And then even crystal balls seem kind of common.
But that's not what this is. It's an
You don't
orb.
think so? But I was wondering if maybe every one of these is a crystal
It
ball.
reminds me of like a goldfish fishbowl, and like you look into it, so like a pensive and a crystal ball combined.
Maybe a crystal ball means nothing until it's given its one true prediction. And then once it's given its true prediction, it's locked in and
It's
you
one
put it on a
true ball.
shelf.
Just gonna say. Oh my gosh, everything goes back to that.
But how
Wait, so okay,
how did this end up on a shelf?
Jen, you think like
Elf on a shelf.
Yeah.
so you think these are like prophecies, right?
Yeah.
So you think this is some kind of information for why Voldemort is going after Harry specifically?
Potentially, yeah.
Why would it have a question mark next to Harry's name?
Because he has to decide what side he's on.
Okay.
Or maybe it wasn't fully clear. It like could be Harry Potter,
It could be someone else.
but it maybe could be someone else.
Who would be the other person? It could possibly
Neville,
be or other people.
because you're obsessed with him.
And he's an orphan.
And they have similarities. And yeah,
And he's the same age.
exactly.
And his parents were not in the picture.
Yep.
So why people want me to read this as well too. This is like when they're trying to discuss some of the what Voldemort is after. And this is what happens. But if Voldemort's trying to recruit more Death Eaters, it's bound to get out that he's come back, isn't it? Asked Harry desperately. Voldemort doesn't march up to people's houses and bang on their front doors, Harry, said Sirius. He tricks, jinxes, and blackmails them. He's well practiced at operating in secret. In any case, gathering followers is only one thing he's interested in. He's got other plans, too. Plans he can't put into operation very quietly indeed, and he's concentrating on those for a moment. What's he after apart from followers? Harry asked swiftly. He thought he saw Sirius and Lupin exchanging the most fleeting of looks before Sirius answered. Stuff he can only get by stealth, Sirius said. When Harry continued to look puzzled, Sirius said, like a weapon, something he didn't have last time. When he was powerful before? Yes. Like what kind of weapon? Said Harry. Something worse than Avada Kedavra? That's enough. Mrs. Weasley spoke from behind the shadows of the door beside Harry. Harry hadn't noticed her. Returned from taking Ginny upstairs, her arms were crossed, and she looked ferocious. So that was a conversation that they had about the weapon. So the people are still saying, is this something more dangerous? Like, is this just information, or is there something deeper and more involved in this?
But maybe it unlocks something in Harry Potter, like knowing this information.
Or maybe because Harry touched this, it confirms that it's not a question mark. It actually is Harry.
But what is it?
But it would be Harry or Voldemort, in theory, could touch this. So Trelawney to Dumbledore.
So
it's
maybe
for
it's
Harry?
but it's a weapon. So
I mean, it's like maybe like knowledge is power kind of thing. Harry doesn't know what is in this, correct?
Correct.
Do you think Voldemort knows what's in this?
yeah,
So why is he trying to retrieve
think
it?
so.
because he knows he needs it to defeat Harry.
But how
And
did
Dumbledore.
Trelawney put something so powerful in an orb to Dumbledore? So Trelawney to Dumbledore, but it's a weapon? Or it's knowledge?
Maybe
Knowledge about his parents?
maybe there's something different going on. Like, I mean, we're talking magic here. So let's say someone says, so Trelawney is a seer, right? Is she a fraud or is she a legit seer?
She's legit, but it comes and goes.
It comes and goes.
I was going to say, I don't know if we've seen anything too legit.
Yeah, when she had like that little seizure thing, and then she came to. and
Right,
then, like,
that might be the
booked
only
2,
one. 3,
or whatever.
So let's say for that moment, like maybe the idea of it is as soon as she has this real moment, the Department of Mysteries, this room recognizes that and immediately forms an orb about what her true prophecy was. Maybe this is like the place where true prophecies go. There's not like a prophecy in there about like Neville clanking his teacup or something like that, because that was just a lucky guess. Maybe there's a bunch of them. Maybe this is just the room of Trelawney's prophecies.
All Trelawney stuff.
So maybe it's just something like that, magical. Maybe she's not actually making this orb. But you think that... So, Jen, I want to go back to your theory just for a quick second. So you think that this is information that Trelawney gave to Dumbledore, like a prophecy of some sorts, that is on Voldemort and not necessarily Harry Potter, but Harry Potter, someone like Harry Potter, like this. And this is the reason that Voldemort killed the parents.
That's the best I got.
So
I think.
if it's about maybe Voldemort's defeat, is he trying to prevent this prediction?
From happening.
And the prediction's
And go
about
back
him
in time?
losing, but he doesn't know who he'll potentially be fighting with. Like maybe a prediction about a wizard being killed ends up in an orb. So this is a prediction about Voldemort and someone else. They don't know who it is.
But
maybe
maybe
Harry.
it's information and a time turner. So like now he's gonna learn what exactly the exchange was between him and Harry. And the power exchange, and then he can go back in time and do a different kind of spell.
Because I'm wondering then, if this is a vision, if it's a prediction,
Can you go that
why
far
can
back?
people touch it and pick it up?
But maybe only if you're a part of the vision you can touch it.
Only the people involved in the vision would have the power to change the outcome of it. So maybe Voldemort has already seen the same vision or knows it for some reason, and he needs to change
It's
the
gotta be
outcome
important. I just
by
don't know.
interfering with the vision itself. That's a little odd.
Maybe he needs to like study it, like exactly what happened, because he doesn't really know what happened. So if he could watch it from a third party, like looking into it, maybe he could figure out how he lost his powers and how Harry has some of it.
And maybe I'm just thinking of other, like, if it's a time thing. In other time travel movies, Butterfly Effect, etc., when you understand the future, you change it fundamentally.
Yeah.
The future exists before you know it. But once you're aware of what will happen, either you have zero power to change it or that changes everything. Because maybe from the moment Harry touches this, the vision will no longer be true. Because now he's fundamentally changed the trajectory. So that's why Voldemort needed him to. It also is...
Sneeze, bless you.
Yeah, it's like one of those.
Does it also feels like Trelawney and Dumbledore are the less important parts of this? They're just initials. Are there dozens or hundreds of these orbs around this place that also have those same initials?
But maybe these are like sign off. Like this is like Trelawney to Dumbledore, like signatured. Like this is a real vision. I don't know. That doesn't really make sense.
So maybe the vision was Dumbledore's vision and Trelawney was confirming it, like she was the witness to whatever
Still
happened.
is like the weirdest thing.
Is it something they
I don't know.
experienced together?
It would make sense though because it's a room full of all these things. Like how
Yeah.
many thousands or whatever?
Yep. It can't be. Like, is every wizard's death predicted?
And you can't
or
touch it.
something?
It
You
was really
can't
hard
touch
for
it.
him to get it.
Well, maybe that's why it's locked up, because
Could Lord Voldemort not touch it though because he's not fully himself? He's like a reincarnated, so maybe he can't touch it.
some of maybe maybe he needed the part of him that was in Harry to also touch it.
They touched it together.
Yeah, maybe. And what is the time room?
Maybe it's a
and
portal.
the
Maybe they're holding it together. And
But
then
Harry
they go
touched
back
it.
in time to when he's a baby and
Yeah.
Lord Voldemort is trying to
Voldemort can do it all
kill
again.
parents.
So Harry grabs it, and he's still in the same place. But now, if Voldemort is the one behind him and reaches out and also grabs it, they both get whisked off to another place.
Maybe.
Maybe. And how does this play into the clocks and the hummingbird?
Time
Do you
travel.
need to bring the orb to the hummingbird or to the clock room? And that's like
Because
way
that's
of
the first thing
activating
you go
something?
into, and then you went into this.
yeah.
Is that what it was, right? I don't remember the order of these rooms. So you go into the clock room, and then through the clock room, you went to the orb room.
Yeah. Maybe. I'm trying to think of something about the orb's brightness, or if you could change time in the clock room before you go into the orb room, would it change the things that are in the orb room? Maybe nothing can leave, or maybe there's a spot in the hummingbird clock room. I don't know.
Guys, you don't know how enjoyable this is for me right now. Oh my gosh, this is. Oh.
And what if all of these rooms act together? You all right?
Yep. Sorry, guys.
No, all good. What if you took the orb out of the rooms over to the archway? Or what if the brains are seers of yesteryear producing these orbs, and Trelawney is just happens to be alive, but when her time comes, her brain ends up in the green soup. And then I don't know, like do these rooms work together? And there are a bunch of rooms we didn't even see. But is there a connection between these rooms?
Probably.
Like you bring this orb over to the archway and lock it in, and now you can go through to that memory. Like you need something.
It's like Inside Out.
Yeah,
Project the
nice.
memory and they can just watch it.
And maybe you use some of these things together to change it, so only a certain person can grab it, and then. But I don't know. It doesn't fully click why this would be a weapon. Unless this is about killing.
We don't know what's in this thing yet.
Yep, we don't even know if it's a memory.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's.
So
or what if
explosion?
it's like a prediction? Like if these two came together, if their powers came together, this would be the most powerful weapon. Or if these two wands interacted together, it would be the most powerful weapon. And it's a prediction of that. We think it's Harry Potter's, but maybe it's not Harry Potter's wand. Maybe whoever is getting this wand, that is the sister wand to Voldemort, that's going to be the weapon. And them together is going to destroy anything. That's why Harry Potter is a question mark. I don't know.
What if I'm also thinking? What if it's what if it's like someone's essence? You know, like it's their life almost. Like that seems so weird though, because we're thinking there's a connection between Voldemort and Harry. So, if it is someone's like power or their life, the dullness would just be age because Voldemort is older.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm like trying to give you space and time to sneeze here. Like we could take a full break too. I'm like I have to go pee anyway.
All right, I have. You can pee if you want, but I have 2 quick questions because I want to wrap some of this up.
Yeah.
who is the voice behind Harry?
Jen?
Well, I listened to the audiobook, which maybe is wrong, but
No.
Well, the one audiobook when you got we don't know who that is yet. Remember my last.
no, but it sounded like Trelawney.
Wow.
Another prophecy, maybe, perhaps?
Because Petunia was already in this room one time looking at her own orb. The last time Trelawney gave her an orb, maybe it's someone's magic. Each orb is someone's ability to... So, like, let's say it's somebody's magic ability in this orb. That's how they know whether you get a Hogwarts note, because they can find your orb. And Voldemort cannot rise to full power, because this is how they could crush your magic ability if they do some combination of things to destroy your magic.
So it's dull because...
It's maybe dull because of his age, and the reason it's Harry Potter ? Is because because of the connection between them. I'm only trying to make the connection between if it was Trelawney talking to Petunia, maybe Petunia rejected the magic ways and smashed her own orb to truly reject magic. But then why do they break people's wands instead of smashing their orb? Although maybe smashing their orb is too extreme and that would kill somebody. But I'm just trying to think, why is this the missing piece? If Voldemort has this, he can really take over. Or if this would have stopped Voldemort, why didn't the Ministry use this last time? They didn't have it last time because they only got this 16 years ago. Why was Trelawney to Dumbledore?
Is this the reason that she was hired too? Because it was 16 years ago. Maybe the order was really dusty because it's 16 years. Oof. This could possibly be. What do you think is going to happen from this point on in the book? How is this book going to wrap up? Do you have any idea? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think she seems to end the books like neatly, like with some cliffhangers, but you kind of like she ties that story at the end. So like I feel like we're gonna see whether Harry is going to be taken as like a prisoner with Voldemort and going to be used for evil as his weapon, or someone's going to come save the day and Voldemort is going to lose this weapon but still gain some other power. So in the next book it's going to be another war. Are there going to be casualties in between? Maybe.
So the next book, do you think it could be like the entirety of it could be a war? Do you think they go back to Hogwarts?
I think it's like kind of leading up to that, maybe. But I could be totally off. I forget the title of the book too. Is that cheating?
I know. I won't say it until we finish this one. What do you think is going to happen in the next chapter?
Something really good because it's going to be live.
Next to our live. We get some real juicy stuff, but we don't know
I
what
hope
it
it
is
reveals like a lot of unanswered questions. Like what was it? One of the chapters in the last book, I was like, that was great because I learned so much about the history. So I'm hoping we learn some history of the magic between Harry and Voldemort, maybe, and maybe Dumbledore, or maybe even Snape. Like, I don't know, the mix of that. I doubt it, but... And then maybe we'll see what's happening with the Order. Are they all captured, or are they doing their own thing to help?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't know.
Where are the other Order members? Are they behind this veil somewhere? Are they like, is Voldemort keeping them captive somewhere?
Or are they hiding from Voldemort, ready to attack? Like, I don't know. Maybe they're all
in one of those glass orbs, ready to pounce and break out.
Maybe. So many directions it could go in. I don't know.
Danny, as you're coming back,
yes,
Give me what you think is going to happen in the rest of this book. What specifically is going to happen in the next chapter?
This is so funny because I'm thinking as the first time reader, not being on this podcast, you're just like, let me see what's next. And I'm like guessing.
I know,
the
I
theory.
Cruise on through.
Yeah.
Whenever you're in suspense, you just keep reading and it's resolved.
Yeah.
What a luxury. Wow.
Yeah, what a concept that is.
But that's why we have a much richer reading experience. And sometimes their first-time readers might be reading along with us. They're not going to read until they get to listen.
I just can't wait till we play trivia.
Ooh, that's
I
gonna be
know.
good.
Yeah,
Can't
we're
wait
going to kill
some
it.
trivia
I
notes.
think, currently, I'm thinking this isn't Voldemort. I think the voice, it might just be like as reading, it might just be like a moment of deception where we think it's him, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to find out it's someone else. But it's going to be too late because whatever Harry did is what Voldemort wanted him to do.
Mm-hmm.
So whether this is Voldemort right behind him or not, the thing is done. So I'm kind of hoping, I'm thinking Harry should put his orb back and then maybe swap labels between this orb and another one to keep it confusing for the next guy. Will Harry do that? I don't know. Will he carry this orb with him? I don't know. But if it's a time thing, by just touching this, it changed something. What Harry just did was the turning point, I think. I think what he just did gave the thumbs up to Voldemort. So I'm imagining he's going to encounter Voldemort between
in the Ministry of Magic,
or by the time he gets back to Hogwarts.
Okay.
Before he settles back into normal life, it's too late for that. That's done. He's going to realize maybe the person behind him is serious, and he's going to be like, I thought you were dying. Wait, you're not dying? No, Harry, I was here to do this other thing. Or maybe it's going to be the Weasleys. I don't know. It's going to go down now because Voldemort is going to be able to do something. He's going to be able to take action. So maybe they all leave the Ministry and they go to Grimmauld Place to regroup. Hopefully Harry doesn't bring the orb with him, I guess. And then they're going to get back to the Ministry or to Grimmauld Place, to the Order, and realize they made a mistake. They messed up. The Order is going to realize they messed up. They're going to say, Harry, what in the world are you doing? We've been protecting this for all this time for this reason. Why did you bring the orb here? Or why did you touch the orb? Or why did you do the thing you weren't supposed to do and mess everything up? Dumbledore told you, occlumency, blah, 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 blah. And then they're going to have to take action. So whether it's Voldemort who initiates with an attack or whether it's the Order who says, what have you done, Harry? We have to do something now. It's going to lead to a thing. Where's the thing going to be? I don't know. Who's going to initiate the thing? I don't know. But it's going to be a showdown. And one person died in the last book.
Well, two people die in this book.
Two people might die in this book.
Up in the stakes.
Not
Doesn't
Mrs.
it-
Weasley, no!
Yeah, it kind of makes you freak out with all the other people surrounding Harry, too. You're like, will all of his friends die except him? Because Harry's kind of immune to... If Voldemort comes back, you're like, the rest of everyone but Harry might die.
I'm scared for
scared.
Ginny.
Ooh.
She got up from the table first.
And she's like a hot tamale, like back
What
to
the
back
heck?
to
You
back
keep
to
changing
back.
Who got off the table first?
Well, we actually don't know for sure. It could be
He's
anything.
Yeah.
like,
But Mrs. Weasley,
Who else?
for
like
dessert,
four characters who
it
got up.
literally has to be those two, according to what was written.
Yeah.
Unless there's more that we don't know that she has to reveal
this
later.
written.
But the thing is,
Thing.
Ginny is right here. If Voldemort is behind them right now, she'd be the perfect person to be attacked. She goes for the jinx because she's the quickest and she's good at it. She's like, Voldemort, jinx, boom, she's dead. She'll go out in a blaze of glory, and that will be the spark that lights the fire of fury against Voldemort. But
Like
could
he
happen.
didn't have one before.
Well, people don't believe he even exists. They don't believe he's back.
Well, everyone
so,
with Harry does.
But Voldemort doesn't care about that now. It's been all clandestine until this point. But now, I think this is the thing, that will initiate the real deal battle. The question is, what if... Well, no, that wouldn't make for a good story.
I love this so much. This is
Because is it too late? Was this the moment for Harry? When I was in the bathroom, what did you say is going to happen later in this
You will
book?
listen
You'll have
to
to
it
listen
on
to
the
that
podcast.
All right, let's go rapid fire for
Okay.
some of your favorites because we got to wrap this up. Hot favorite. Who wins the house cup? Who's a hot tamale? What's your favorite moment in these chapters?
Ginny's hot tamale. I like her.
Oh, I hope she doesn't die.
Me too.
Favorite character? I like Hermione because she gets Umbridge and
Yeah.
she's the only level-headed one, even though she gets outnumbered.
Right.
And favorite moment is when Umbridge gets taken away by the centaurs.
Praise the Lord.
That was
amen.
that was a pretty good moment.
Yep.
I'm going to say Hermione gets the house cup. She was level-headed. We kind of gave her credit for the move at the end of the last chapters, but I feel like we need to give her the house cup because this resolved it. Misguided, almost really led to trouble, but that's why the hot tamale goes to Grop.
Oh. All right. You know what Danny's into.
Yeah, because the thing is, he did save the day. If it wasn't for him, then Hermione and Harry might have been killed or taken off to somewhere else or whatever. Things would not have gone down the way they did. And I just feel bad for Grop getting shot by 50 arrows.
Yeah.
Like
In the
his
face.
face. Oh my goodness. And now I think Grop's kind of sweet. You know, he likes Hermione. So yeah, I'm going to give him credit, hot tamale. And then favorite moment, yeah, I think it was Umbridge getting carried away.
Yeah.
Hard to beat that.
Yep.
Literally the same as Jen.
Yeah, it's honestly it's really hard to argue with that. I think Ginny's a hot tamale for me too because she's doing bat bogey hexes,
Ooh,
and she's
yeah.
like, I love when she's like, I'm coming, like I'm like the reason that they're all back in the
Yes.
thing, they have like bogeys flying out of their noses right now. She's like fiery. She's a hot tamale.
Yep.
I love how she talks back to Harry.
I know.
She's
She's like,
so
you're not getting
great.
away with
Yeah.
this.
She is a hot tamale if there ever were one. And then my favorite moment, I mean, you can't argue with that. It's probably one of the best moments. Might be the best moment in this book.
Yep.
When she gets taken away. You're
Finally.
like, oh my gosh. You just feel like a flood of relief.
Mm-hmm.
I hate her so much. And then my house cup winner, I'm actually going to give it to Harry. And the reason I'm going to give it to him is even though he's irrational, even though he's probably making stupid decisions, I still think that his little saving complex is one of the most beautiful little things in this book.
Yep.
I think he loves people and he will do anything that he can to save people that he loves. And I think that's really admirable. Even if you're stupid about it, I think there's still some kind of admiration behind wanting to save people at all costs. And I actually don't mind some of his anger in these chapters when he's mad at people for slowing him down, because he just, I feel like the same stress in these moments when you just want to get to someone that you love and save them. Not that I have that moment all the time, but
John's over here saving the world.
I've never had that moment really, but you know.
Yeah, so good.
Anyway, thanks for joining us on our journey of Harry Potter and the First Time Readers. Until next time, guys.
Boy. Next
thank
time's
you.
gonna be good.
Yes.
It better be good, John.
We're almost there. Look.
Guys, I know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we do have a live read coming up. We got to figure out when we're going to do the live read, but we'll figure that out in a bit. But for anybody who's watching on the live stream right now, live read is going to be the next two chapters, which is 35 and 36, I think. So we're going to do live read of the next two chapters, and we'll let you guys know that way in advance as well when we ever figure it out. Because we just want, like, I can't tell you how many people are excited for that, a live read of some chapters.
So how's that going to work? We're going to listen in headphones.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to sync a few different pairs of headphones to my computer. And either we'll have, like, we'll each either have one earpiece between the four of us.
Oh,
or
yeah, that's a good
two,
point.
because we could just listen on one and like
you sync
Yeah,
two headphones
yeah,
and you share a
and then we
pair,
share a
whatever.
pair,
Yeah.
because I can sync two headphones, and I don't know if I can
nice.
sync three, but I'll figure that all out this week. And then on the live stream, we can't play it live, obviously. We're gonna be listening to it, and as soon as we hit start, I'm gonna play a countdown or like a count up.
Right.
A clock on the live stream, so that they know what point we are, because we're gonna listen to the Jim Dale audiobook.
Nice.
Because that's the one that I have. And so if anybody wants to listen to it, they can nab that one from their library or wherever it is, and they can listen along with us as we're going through it. That's the only
cool.
legitimate way. So we're not going to be like, you're not going to be able to hear it on the live stream or anything like that. You're going. And
then the idea is that then whatever feelings we feel, we hold together until we're done with the chapter.
Nope.
No, they want.
We can pause it mid-chapter as often as we want
as
to
much
discuss.
as you. Well, we're not going to discuss so much. I actually kind of want to keep it playing.
Okay.
But if you want to like pause and like just have a quick little note about something, this is more like a reaction video. So almost while it's going live,
gotcha.
I
Like
want
to when you're reading, do you like? I'm expressive when I read. Are you expressive when you read, or
sometimes?
Oh my goodness!
I don't think I'm that expressive.
He watches the movies. He doesn't do anything.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But I take a lot of notes.
Stoic.
So my reaction is just different. Like if something crazy happens, I'm like, I'm like reading and, and
for sure.
highlighting and whatever. So it might just be different.
Nah,
Responsive ones.
Oh my gosh,
That's me.
I was right. And then it'll be I'm wrong.
Some people are asking if we can actually do a live read of it, and I'm hesitant for that for two reasons. For copyright reasons, I don't know if I can actually read a full live chapter on this. I think I actually would be able to do that.
Oh, like you read it?
Yeah, but at the same point, I'm not a great reader. Like Jim Dale is far superior of a voice actor than I am. So I don't want to mess anything up, or I want you've been listening to it in Jim Dale, so I'd rather like keep that streak going, So we're probably gonna do it that way. Unfortunately, we just want to steer clear of as much copyright as we can.
If anyone else doesn't have the audiobook, they'll be a little in the dark on the live stream.
Yeah, for sure. So on the live stream itself, Wes, what are you barking at? Hey, stop it. On the live stream itself, I'm gonna be like updating people what
in
parts
the chat,
almost
and, like,
every
what's
page.
Happening. Okay, yeah.
I'll be like, hey, we're at this part right now, and we'll kind of keep going from there. Wes,
okay.
Relax, bud. Hey, stop.
Wait, so you don't want us to pause? Because I'm the type of would want to pause.
We might.
And
yeah,
we talk
we'll
about it. And then this is gonna happen. We just
stop.
Like, and then even for example, like then the podcast afterwards wouldn't be the same. It would just be any of our comments cut together as we work our way through.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be the actual podcast. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll pause it anytime you guys want to talk about something.
I'll do whatever you want, but I like to pause and then predict.
Let's do it. Let's do that. I kind of like that. If we pause it at least for a little bit,
like,
and then we kind of like talk about certain things here.
Yeah. That's gonna happen. This is what you thought, right?
And then because then it's
then
like predictions throughout the whole. Okay, yeah.
I kind of like that. I'm down with that. The chapter 36 I think is a shorter one, so that's fine. But 35 is real juicy. 36 is real juicy too. So we can do that, and then we can even separate it so we're not doing the same night, because that would be like a long. I'm sure just the live read itself is gonna be like an hour and a half if we're gonna pause it at certain points and everything like that. So that'll be a little bit lengthy.
That takes time, right? Right.
So we can even just do that by itself and then come back a few days later and do the actual podcast of it. So
we're doing the 2 chapters live together.
I don't know what he's barking at like crazy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that live. We'll figure that out as soon as we leave. Wes?
But it's nice when it's live because we can just stop whenever we need to.
Yeah, exactly.
And if it's so juicy that we just can't stop, then so be it.
I know.
For this one.
Exactly. But everyone watching in the live stream, thanks so much for watching.
Thanks,
you guys are the best. We will see you
guys.
guys during the live read. I'll keep you updated on our subreddit. And I'll probably post the schedule stream like a few days in advance too, as soon as I figure out when we're gonna do it. So thanks for watching. We will see you guys later. Have a good day. All right, now we got to end this, and then we're good.
It's constant.